62 on the calendar in the matter of Lake versus McConnell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Lake, I am baffled by your lawsuit, so I am hoping, sir, that you are going to be able to explain to me why you believe that this young lady should give you $2,500.
As a consumer in a very aggressive area, retail grocery, as a consumer there where...
Why don't you tell me the story, sir?
The story is...
Yes, tell me about the lawsuit.
The lawsuit itself concerns...
Put your papers down, put your briefcase down, and just relax and tell me the story.
The story, which I have the physical evidence here, is that as a consumer, on Christmas Eve of last year, I entered with a companion at a certain grocery store in the San Diego County area. With that, and with my companion, we went through the cash-only line. My companion went first. She bought a couple of items. She was waiting right there on Christmas Eve for me to go through. Body language that she was ready to go, keys in her hand, tapping her foot. It was a very rush type of thing. I come in with one item in the cash line. I go ahead and confront the cashier with...
That's this young lady
yes,
here.
Ma'am. A person now, who I now know the first and last name of. At that time, she was wearing a name tag with just her first name and last initial. At that time, right here on the receipt...
You gave her your item. What did you buy, sir?
I bought one bottle of champagne.
Okay, you bought a bottle of champagne, and you gave her money.
Not only did I give her money, but before I gave her money, I said, I have two $20 bills and a 50.
Well, why would you say
Shut up!
Pardon me.
You gave her two $20 bills and a 50. And how much was the champagne?
You can see the attitude of
Shut
the
up.
store.
Hey, just a second. Mr. Lake, answer my questions,
yes,
please.
ma'am.
How much was the bottle of champagne, sir?
The bottle of champagne with the tax and everything else came out to $4.30. I asked Ms. McConnell, can you break a 50? I told her I have two 20s and a 50. She said yes. I handed her a $50 bill, a quarter, and a nickel, $50.30 for a $4.30 purchase.
So what happened? Come on, speed
what
up the
happened
story.
was, with my companion waiting to go, rushing off for...
I heard the companion. What happened with the money and the champagne? Come on.
The money and the champagne is, I got the champagne, but I didn't get all the money.
Okay, so you say that she shortchanged you in the change, is that right?
She went ahead and counted out $50 in cash as a count back. I grabbed it and the receipt, stuffed it in my pocket, and left. Very soon after, in the same part of town, I had another cash transaction. I got out my cash. The receipt read clearly, cash tended $40.30.
Okay.
I went back within half an hour of making my purchase. I confronted her and I said, have you taken in any $50 bills recently? And she said, no. This is within minutes after the transaction.
Okay, so what happened? Come on.
What happened was that talking to various store officials, including one Dean Honda, and
you talked to people at the store.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you get your $10 back?
I got the $10 back after a lot of arguing, and I also got the corporate phone up here in LA County.
Mr. Lake, so you went in, you gave her money, you realized sometime later when you were making a purchase that she had given you, according to you, $10 less in change than you should have gotten. So
yes.
far as that, make it fast?
Yes.
You went back to the store. At first, they didn't think that they had made a mistake, but ultimately that evening, they gave you the $10, correct?
After a lot of arguing, yes.
So you had a lot of arguing, whatever. That evening, they gave you back the $10.
That's correct.
So why are we here?
On principle. She still has her job. She has not, to the best of my knowledge, been reprimanded, and the store has tolerated outright theft. This is not my opinion. This is physical evidence. They tolerated outright theft. It's not my fault that she wanted some kind of a Christmas bonus on her own as an individual employee. In an industry that from the top constantly cheats consumers through price fixing, that store managers constantly take items off of sale on their computers. We have, in addition to that, employees working on their own, taking money out of my pocket. The principle of the thing is we have theft, we have denial of the theft, and we have zero cooperation from the corporation.
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
How many lawsuits have you filed with regard to this particular incident?
One.
And this is the only one?
Yes, ma'am.
Never filed any lawsuits against her because she has a counterclaim against you for a variety of things, including abusive process, which is really the basis of your lawsuit, although you don't couch it in that language. She says that you've sued her at various times, and she'll tell me about that. You've also slandered her, which you did right now. You said she was a thief.
And I stand by that.
May cost you money, Mr. Lake. You understand that?
I stand
because
by
now
it.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Then I'll get to you. Okay, fine. It was Christmas Eve.
Yes, ma'am.
Store was busy?
Relatively so, yes.
And there were a lot of people online waiting, which is why you went to the cash line?
No, it was well staffed. They had a fair amount of employees waiting on people, so it was busy, but it wasn't real crowded, or there was not a long line.
Okay. And you came to her, and what you said to her was, I have two 40s or a $50 bill. Two 20s or a $50 bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why would you say you had two 20s if the whole champagne was only $4?
I wanted to know,
No,
in the cash line,
yeah.
you know, I went through the cash line because I had one item in cash.
No, Mr. Lake, you're not following me, sir. If I had a 20 and a 50 and I was buying a $4 item, I might say, can you cash a 50? I have a 50 or a 20. Can you cash a 50? You told me that you said to her, I have two 20s and a 50.
Because I had just pulled it out, and I was looking at it and communicating right off the cuff at that moment.
So what you did, what you're saying to me, Mr. Lake, is, since you must agree with me that that was sort of a silly thing to say, I have two 20s to pay for a $4 item or a 50. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous, right? Mr. Lake, is that kind of ridiculous to say I have two 20s to pay for a $4 item, or I have a $50 bill?
That's the items that I pulled out. That's the cash I had on hand.
Well, who cares what cash you had? What if you had a $1,000 bill? She doesn't care what cash you had on hand. You had a 20 and a 50. You could have paid with either one.
I had a couple
So
of
can you
20s.
say, did you ever say I made a mistake? Did you ever say that in your life?
Often.
Very good. Well, so you made a mistake. You should have said, I just have a 20 and a 50. Can you cash the 50?
Well, if I had more time, if it wasn't a rush situation, maybe I would have.
Now we're getting there, Mr. Lake.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do I look like I need help?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shannon McConnell, a supermarket cashier, disputes Donald Lake's accusations that he was shortchanged.
So you made a mistake because it was rushed, because you were taking out your money fast, because you had somebody waiting for you, and there were a lot of people behind you waiting to get checked out. So you made a mistake. Why wouldn't you give this young lady, and I haven't heard from her yet, the benefit of the doubt? Why do you ascribe to her malevolence, criminal activity, when it could have been an honest mistake?
That's a very good question.
I'm waiting for your very good answer. Now you're taking time to think about it, Mr. Lake, because you're going to think about a good response to me.
I can tell you right now, two good responses.
Yes.
Response number one, she counted back $50, not 40, in her count back. Number two, a few minutes later, she denies ever having the $50 bill in the first place.
Okay,
And she said right then and there, oh, you know, if she'd apologized, if she would have helped me confer with the manager. I mean, up until I got the money back that night, she was fighting the manager. If she would have admitted her mistake, that would have been fine.
Mr. Lake, you don't think as a consumer you made a mistake by taking the money when she counted out the money and not looking at it? Not saying, I gave her a $50 bill, let me just check my change, instead of taking your change and just putting it in your pocket. Don't you have any responsibility to do that right at that moment?
Whatever responsibility I had with that, I took care of it as soon as possible.
No, you didn't. If you had taken care of it immediately while you were right there, you would have said, look, the bill right there on top, that 50 is mine. Instead, you walk out of the store after she counted out your money. Then you come back a half hour later, after you've made another purchase someplace else, and say, now, Christmas Eve, I want you to remember that I gave you a $50 bill. Hold it. Go.
From the beginning?
Well, if there's anything that he's left out from the beginning, I'd like to hear you.
Okay, when we went to the cash line, it was extremely busy.
How long have you been working at this store?
Since 1985. Not this particular store, for the company since 85. After I checked him out, I went on a 10-minute break. After I came back from the break, I went to another register. So when he approached me, he didn't ask me in a calm manner. He came up screaming a 20, a 10, and a 5, and a 1, saying that that's a change I gave him. Asked if he'd taken any 50s lately, being that I had just returned from a break, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I was on a new register where his 50 would have been on the old register, so I didn't recognize him from the prior exchange, because they had been so busy. I had hundreds of customers that day. I didn't recognize him, so I thought the only thing that came to mind was maybe he was wanting a nice, clean $50 bill to give as a gift. So I was saying, I don't think so, but I can check. And as I'm saying, I can check to see if there's one in the drawer. That's when he started going as 20, a 10, and a 5, and a 1. And then at that point, the manager came over to see what the commotion was about. The manager did not argue. I did not argue because I didn't know what it was about. The manager took the receipt, said, "You were short of $10. He said yes. He took him over to the courtesy desk. At that time, he just gave him the $10, no questions asked, really. It was a matter of minutes till he got his $10 back. And at that point, Mr. Lake took the $10, waving in the air, screaming, "Don't go through Shannon's line. She has my money. She'll take your money."
Did you do that, sir?
Not all of those things.
Yes, sir.
I did some of them.
Ma'am, this is Jackie here.
Were you there that evening?
Yes, when her and I came back from our breaks, just coincidentally at about the same time, she opened up on the register right next to me, and the way our register is set up is her customers' backs are to me, and my back is to them. Okay, so I heard a 20, a 10, real loud, and I turned around, stopped checking, turned around, and looked at Shannon, and then he goes up to the service desk with the manager and gets his $10. He has it in his hand, waving it. "She stole my money." I mean, Christmas Eve is the second busiest day of the year. I've been working there for 22 years. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, the whole time. And he was waving the $10, saying she stole it. The customers eventually, he was there for probably 5 to 7 minutes, yelling and carrying on in front of the store. So all of her fellow employees heard every check stand was open. All the customers were, it was very busy. Him saying it wasn't that busy, relatively. Anyway, so the customers finally started saying, "We don't want you here. Go back to where you came from. We like our store. We like Shannon." And he left. That's how it was. I saw the whole thing. I stopped checking to watch it because I've never seen anything like it.
Shannon, how many times have you been to court with regard to this case?
This is my third time.
Tell me about the first 2 times.
The first time I went,
You were served with a summons?
Yes. I went.
What was he suing for that?
The first time was criminal and commercial theft, deceit, and fraud. That was the first one. I went there, and Mr. Lake failed to appear. I thought that was the end of it. I thought maybe he realized that this was a ridiculous case, and that was it.
Which court did you go to?
San Diego, Claremont.
Does that sound familiar to you, sir, that you filed a case there?
Yes, it did, and she was not serviced.
Just a second.
There was no service done.
I was there when he served the papers, and you did serve her, and you stood behind her and watched her check for about 10 minutes after you served her. You served her personally.
And
I stood
Just
there
a second.
watched you because
Just
I
a
knew
second.
you were.
Anne, did you serve her?
No, I cannot serve. Service
Exactly.
must be done.
Her.
Just listen to me. Just a second. You served her. You gave her the papers.
Yes, I did, and that is not service. Service must be a third party.
So why did you serve me?
Hey! Do I look like I need help? Do I look like I need help?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're really ticking me off, sir. You're really ticking me off, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donald Lake, the former educator, wants supermarket checker Shannon McConnell to pay for his trouble when he claims he was shortchanged at her supermarket.
Mr. Lake, so let me understand this, sir. You did, in fact, give her papers with regard to this first suit that she's talking about, but...
Yes, I did.
And what you're saying is that it's a question of semantics, because since you, as a party, cannot serve her, a third party must serve her. It was invalid service, and therefore she was not served.
Also, ma'am...
Am I right?
That's correct.
Good! Now,
And...
say nothing. You're really ticking me off, sir. You're really ticking me off, sir. So you didn't appear in that action because you say she wasn't served. Is that correct?
That's partially correct.
Did you appear in that action?
No, I did not.
Then I'm correct.
You're partially correct.
I'm always correct, sir. The question is, she went to court because she was given papers. She's not a lawyer. She doesn't know that if a third person doesn't serve, it's not considered good service, so she didn't want to be in default. She went to court, and you didn't.
Also, the paperwork was given to Shannon M. I was trying to find out her last name so that she could be serviced correctly.
All right, so now we have one lawsuit that you filed that you didn't follow through with, and she went. When was the next lawsuit?
The next one was 2 months later. We went again, and at that point, we found out that not only did he have my court case, he had 2 other cases in the courtroom next door. Obviously can't be in 2 courtrooms at one time, so he denied having the pro tem hear our case. So perhaps you could go to the other cases. So
Let me understand this so that I make it simple. When you showed up in court on the next court date after you were properly served, I assume, Mr. Lake, you had 3 actions pending on the same day. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you had to choose which case you would hear that day because you couldn't be in 2 courtrooms at the same time. So you said, I don't want a lay judge to hear my case. In her case, adjourn it to another day. Is that what happened?
No, ma'am.
Then let me hear.
I said I don't want a lay judge, a person who is not culpable to the Performance Review Board on any of my cases. That is a constitutional right.
And this is the 3rd case. Is
Yes,
that correct? Are you ready?
I think so.
Are you ready?
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mr. Lake, in the year and a half that I've been handling cases in this court, I have never imposed the judicial sanction of fines for abusive process, fines that have been paid to the court for wasting court time. Now, I am dismissing your lawsuit because your lawsuit is frivolous. And not only is it frivolous, but this is the 3rd time that you have abused the people of this state by taking up judicial time and manpower in filing it. There is no question that there was, based upon what I've heard, an honest mistake. You, sir, are a suer, which means you like to sue people. And maybe you get off on that, but I'm telling you right now that the judicial system in this country will not tolerate those people who abuse it, because if you abuse it, people who have a real case can't get court time because the courts are clogged with this kind of frivolous nonsense. Now, say nothing, Mr. Lake. You already said too much. Now, with regard to this lawsuit, her counterclaim, I'm awarding you. You are asking for $1,400. Right. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And I'm also going to exercise my discretion and award you $2,500.
Wow.
All right? And I am imposing sanctions, Mr. Lake, costs upon you that are to be paid to the court in the amount of $500 because you have abused me, and I resent it. Not only have you abused her, but I resent the fact that you have abused the court system. That's all.
Step out. Now, this is case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of Peters versus Peters. Judge, the parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Thank you. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Peters, you've been married for 6 years and you're in the process of divorcing. According to your papers, I think that you've both agreed that your marriage is going to be over, despite the fact that I get some sense in these papers that you still care about each other, that your lives are going in different directions. And you come before me today because there is certain property that you have agreed to permit me to resolve with regard to the issue of ownership. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And once those issues of property are resolved, then the divorce process will be a relatively easy one. Right.
Yes.
Yes,
Take a deep breath. Are you nervous?
a little.
Okay. Mrs. Peters, according to your complaint, there are 3 items at issue.
Right.
There is a car.
Right, the car.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 1993 Geostorm GSI.
And then the issue of my cat and my dog, he gave my cat away. And we had decided that I would...
So there's a dog?
Yes.
Because the cat's gone?
Yes. And
So-
then also we have some videos that we...
Some personal videos that he has that you would like back?
Well, I
would
would
like
like
it
to-
destroyed?
Yes.
Let's start with the car, because my sense is that the car is, in the area of emotions, the easiest thing to resolve.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, the car is in your name,
Yes, ma'am.
but she pays for it.
That is correct.
How did that come about?
Because when Chris and I had moved to California together, for a while he wasn't working, and I had paid some of his car payments, just 2 of them, so that I was afraid he was going to leave me if he couldn't pay his bills and I go back to Colorado, and I didn't want him to go back, so I paid that. And then I got sick afterwards, and I got really behind on my bills, so my car got repossessed, so I ended up filing for bankruptcy.
I don't believe
And-
you paid my car payments.
Yes, I did. I did
Well,
twice.
it's really not particularly relevant, because what we're here for is for resolution, not to revisit bad moments.
So anyway,
Does that
that's
sound
why.
right to you?
Yes.
So you had bad credit,
Yes.
but you needed a car,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you helped her.
Yes, ma'am. I told her, I says, now if I sign for this car, you have to promise me that you're going to make your payments on time and you're not going to make this a liability to me.
So you said, I'll sign for it, but promise that you'll make the
Make your
payments
payments.
faithfully and on time.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You don't mind if I help you out a little bit?
No, not a
Because I
bit.
got other cases to do today.
Thank you.
Okay. How much more time has to go on this car loan?
About a year and a half.
And how long was the car loan? 5 years?
Yes.
And you would agree, Mr. Peters, that she has made, even though some of the payments were late, she's made all the payments.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So there really isn't much of an issue about that. When you separated, you took the car.
Yes.
So
Well,
the
the issue is the collection agents keep coming to me wanting those payments because they're always late.
They are not, I'm sorry. Sorry, Your Honor, but they're not always late.
Well, I got just this notice right here that she's behind 2 payments.
I'm not behind 2
Let
payments.
me ask you this question, Mr. Peters. How would you like to resolve this fairly with regard to the car? Let me see what your suggestion is.
Well, I would like to be able to sign it over in her name, but that's impossible because they won't do it because of her credit. So I think that she should at least reimburse me maybe half of what the car is worth, and that way,
How's that going to help you?
well, my car is about ready to go.
How do you think it would be reasonable to resolve this issue? Because what you're really asking is you're asking him to sign the title of the car over to you, and yet he has the liability.
Yes, ma'am.
I've made all the payments up to now. I'm not going to stop making the payments.
Well, I know that because you're driving the car. But if you do stop making the payments, that means they're going to come after him or repossess the car.
I would never stop making the payments. I've already paid over $12,000 on that car, Your Honor. I'm not going to stop making the payments. Plus, I paid his car insurance until this year so that he could have car insurance because he didn't want to have
That's
car
not
insurance.
true. You left me with $1,500 worth of bills, and
Chris, that is so not true.
and
Just a
I paid
second.
the last 2 months of your insurance.
Okay. How much is this car worth now, approximately?
$7,000.
Is that about right?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you have the last statement that you received on the car?
I just have one of the bill that's owed right here.
Can I see it, please? Well, it says this payment, you are delinquent by 1 month.
Actually, that will be true on the 26th. But I'm going to make the payment before the 26th.
Okay. Give me a minute. You still owe a lot of money on this car.
About $6,200, I believe.
It's probably paid about $2,000 in overcharges by now.
No, I have not, Chris.
Wait, she's paid for a long time. I mean, you have had the car for, if she's had the car for 4 years, if she's had the car for 4 years.
But every time she's late a payment, Your Honor.
I am not every time late a payment, Chris.
Just don't fight with each other. You don't have
Sorry.
to fight with each other anymore. You're getting a divorce. The fighting is over.
Later on Judge Judy.
Have you ever shown this video to anyone?
No, ma'am.
And you want it destroyed?
Yes, I do.
You want to keep it?
Yes, ma'am.
That's sick.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 34-year-old Chris Peters is divorcing his wife Kelly because she won't give up her exotic dancing career. They have asked Judge Judy to arbitrate their dispute over their pets, their car, and their intimate home video.
Mr. Peters,
Yes.
I am going to suggest to you that for the purposes of liability and everything else, that you sign this car over to her so that the car is in her name. You, of course, always have the recourse of suing her in a small claims arena. You don't have to go through lawyers or anything else. You know she doesn't have money now.
Yes, ma'am.
My alternatives are to force her to sell the car, satisfy your loan, and then she'd have $800 left. Because if the car is worth $7,000 and there's $6,200 left to pay on the loan, that would put her in a position of not being able to be employed, really, because she wouldn't have a way of getting back and forth to work. I assume you drive to work.
Yes, I do.
Now, you've been married for 6 years. Are you employed on a regular basis?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
You have a weekly paycheck?
The small one.
Okay. You are not, I assume, Ms. Peters, in your divorce action seeking support from him. Is that correct?
Of course not.
Because you're working.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to look at the long-term picture, Mr. Peters. This car is your insurance. Your insurance that when this whole divorce action is finalized, your wife is not going to ask for support from you because she's not working because she didn't have a car to get to work. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what it really means is for the next year while this car loan is being paid off, you'll have to sweat it a little bit to make sure, you know, that she's going to make the car payments. You also can feel confident that after all the money she's paid for the car, it is unlikely that she's going to allow the car to be repossessed. I'm telling you right now, if you don't make your payments, the first thing they do is come and get the car. So, Mr. Peters, you're going to sign the car over to her. That way, when your divorce is over, everything's going to be finished. Is that a good idea?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, good. So, that was the unemotional part of this dispute. Now, let's get to the dog. The dog's name is Breezy.
Yes.
Breezy is, according to your papers, a boxer.
Yep.
Is that a
Yes.
picture of Breezy?
No, this is a picture of my cat that he gave away without my permission.
Okay.
We'll get to the cat.
Yes,
Okay.
we will.
That's a picture of Breezy.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, according to your papers, Ms. Peters, you had a cat and a dog.
Yes.
You had Mac, the cat.
Yes.
Breezy, the dog.
Right.
And why don't you tell me about the arrangement with the cat and the dog when you separated in November?
Okay. We had agreed that I would take the cat, Mac, and I would let him keep Breezy, even though I didn't really want to let him keep Breezy because she's my dog too, and I love her, and I'm the one that took care of her, paid for her food most of the time, took her to the vet, all that stuff.
You agreed that you would keep the cat and he would keep the dog.
Right, and because I can't have the cat where I'm living right now, he had promised that he would keep Mackie for me until I could get my own place. And I thought that instead of taking Mac at the time and having him stay at a friend's house or having my sister keep him, it would be less traumatic for Mac if he stayed in his own house with his own yard until I could come get him. And he looked me in the eye and promised me that he would take good care of Mac.
The same way she looked me in the eye and promised me she'd make all her payments on time.
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Peters.
I did promise and looked her in the eyes about the cat, and then I'd keep it for her. But sometimes when you get...
So what happened with the cat?
The cat kept urinating all over the house and on my clothes and stuff, and I finally...
Coming up on Judge Judy.
It was totally done just for the two of us. I've never made that kind of video with anyone ever before. And I just did it for him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Peters are in the middle of a divorce, but they have come before Judge Judy to settle custody of their pets, a car, and a personal home video.
Why didn't you call your wife and say, listen, I'm giving away the cat. You want the cat, come and get it?
Because I knew that the cat needed a home, a good home. And Kelly wasn't prepared. She just left the cat. If she was so concerned about Breezy and the cat, then she should have done something before she left.
Okay.
She shouldn't have
Mr.
just left
Peters.
it up to me.
Mr. Peters, you didn't answer my question.
Why didn't I
Why
call
didn't
Kelly?
you, at that moment,
Because I was
pick up
pissed
the...
off.
Right. That's honest. There you go. Okay.
And
That's
I was
honest.
using, and I was thinking, I was thinking that, you know, it was her fault and stuff. And I was sorry. After I gave the cat away, I tried to get the cat back because I realized how much it really meant to Kelly, you know. But at the time of the anger of the moment,
Okay.
I hated the cat.
That's,
so.
just a second. That's honest, Mr. Peters. Shh. Shh. That's honest.
Okay.
Well, so now, Mrs. Peters, your husband acknowledges that he got rid of the cat because the cat was soiling all over the house.
But, Your Honor, it's because he didn't clean out his box.
Whatever. For whatever reason. He didn't like the cat. Maybe he looked at the cat as an extension of you. Is that a possibility?
Maybe.
He acknowledges that he was wrong. That's a step. That's not a reason for me to say that you're entitled to the dog.
And I'm sorry I gave away the cat.
Good. Did you hear that?
Yes.
I am sorry.
Because, you know, it's like he did some... The dog has been with him. The dog has always been with him for the last 9 months. The dog has been with him, living in a place where the dog is accustomed to living. There's a certain routine. So if I were to say, well, you gave away the cat, now I'm going to give her the dog, who I'm really punishing is this dog who had very... You know, dog didn't have anything to do with getting rid of the cat. So that wouldn't be fair, would it? Mrs.
Well,
Peters, would that be
lives-
fair to the dog?
No, probably
Right.
not.
You're right. It would not be fair to the dog. It's like saying if you have a child and there's a divorce, and if one parent acted badly about something, you punish that parent by saying, well, I'm going to limit your visitation with the child. Because that's punishing the child. It's not only punishing the party, but it's punishing the child for something that the child had no control over. This dog is used to living in a particular place. How old is the dog?
3 years.
So for 3 years, lived in the same place, same home, it's got a yard, whatever. Does it?
Yeah. It's got
Got
a
a
big
yard, has a routine.
She's real happy too, Your Honor.
And there's really no reason for me to uproot the dog because he made a mistake.
Well,
Yes, I did.
He made a mistake. He apologized for it. It was not the right thing to do. So the dog stays with him.
Chris, thank you, Your Honor.
Now, the last thing that we're going to address is this video. Ms. Peters, it's your position that this was a rather intimate video that you and your husband took as husband and wife for fun, for whatever. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you want it destroyed.
Yes, I do.
Your position is you want to keep it.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Well, I have a couple of questions to ask you, sir.
Okay.
Have you ever shown this video to anyone?
No, ma'am, I would never show it to anyone else.
Okay, so you want to keep this for yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
And-
sick. Very sick.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's not as nasty or whatever that you want to think. I mean,
Your
it
Honor,
was
it's very
too-
graphic.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kelly Peters, an exotic dancer, and her husband Chris Peters are divorcing. Judge Judy is deciding what happens to their intimate home video.
There is no reason that I can think of for divorced people to keep pictures, videos, photos of each other that the other party might find embarrassing.
Well, there's nothing embarrassing about it. It was just, you know, I mean, it's like, I love Callie. I'm always going to love her. And it's just, I mean, it's not as nasty or whatever that you want to think. I mean,
Your
it was
Honor, it's very
too...
graphic.
Just a second. I don't want to hear about it. I thought I was being very...
Sorry.
I thought I was being very circumspect about it. I said that it was an intimate thing done with...
I have
between
many
us.
other videos of her, too. I mean, that's not in the same category,
This
but...
is what she wants. This is the one that offends you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bell, I'm going to say this to you one more time, sir, and listen to me very carefully. When you divorce, if you're lucky, you're left with certain pleasant memories that you try not to forget. You know, you had good times with your wife. It just so happens that in your case, after 6 years, your lives have taken a different path. She doesn't want to have to worry about these photographs, these videos, falling into anybody else's hands. God forbid you're out in a car and your car is in a wreck and you are there comatose and your mother goes through your things and she says, I wonder if these are pictures of Chris when he was out skiing. And your mother plays this video. Do you understand what I'm saying, sir? You know, it's one of the reasons why people are always supposed to wear clean underwear all the time and keep their houses neat. You never can tell what's going to happen. There are all kinds of situations that I can conceive of where even if you don't intend something to happen, this can fall into the wrong hands. Someone can burglarize your house. That's a possibility. Isn't that a possibility?
I don't think they'd find the tape.
They're certainly not going to find it, sir, because there isn't going to be a tape.
So there's nothing I can say because...
There is absolutely nothing, sir, that you can say to me that would satisfy me that there is any logical, rational basis for you maintaining anything that might prove embarrassing to her. And if she had something that might prove embarrassing to you, I can guarantee you, sir, it would be in my possession if it was the subject of this litigation, and it would be destroyed.
Do you?
No, of course I don't.
Good. Officer Byrd, you and I are going to take care of this video in the back. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Peters, listen to me. It's resolved. This is going to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed within the next 5 minutes. Officer Byrd and I are going to have fun. We're going to create a little bonfire in my chambers. Now, then you don't have to worry about it anymore, Mrs. Peters. So let us see how we resolve this case. The GO.
Yes, ma'am.
Is going to be registered in your name. The dog, Breezy, sir, is yours.
Thank you.
The video is mine. This case is over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please. Your Honor, number 34 on the calendar in the matter of Saunders versus Thompson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
I gather from these papers you two were engaged, going together for about 10 years. Yes. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And at some point, Mr. Saunders, according to your complaint, you went away for about 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a euphemism for jail?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you incarcerated for? Because that becomes important.
Aggravated battery.
On whom? Not on her.
No, ma'am.
Was there a weapon involved?
No, ma'am.
And during the time that you were going to be away, you left the defendant your car,
Yes, ma'am.
a gun,
Yes, ma'am.
and access to your money.
Yes, ma'am.
Where was the money?
Originally, before I left, I resigned from my job. The money was somewhat about $20,000 in a K plan. And
A retirement plan?
Yes, ma'am. She had the power of attorney so that she could handle the work, get the money, and handle it.
Okay. So then you come out of jail and you sue her. You're not together anymore.
Yes, something like that.
Well, then let me hear the story, sir.
I came out and to retrieve, before getting out, I realized that we were no longer going to be together. I just wanted to come out and receive my property, get rid of the gun, sell it, get my Jeep, get insurance policy that she had of mine, power of attorney back, and go on with my life. Subsequently, I tried to talk with her and get her to give me these things back so that I could go on with my life. She, in turn, gave me problems. They went on for months and months. I couldn't get any of this stuff back.
Do you have your Jeep?
I eventually did get it, yeah. Now, the Jeep I got immediately, but a couple of weeks down the line, I realized that it had some problems in it. A leaning wheel. She had told me before I got out that the windshield was cracked again for the third time, you know, and I was missing a lock, computer lock that goes to a burglar alarm. That's, you know.
All right, let me get to this gun, because I think that's going to be the easiest thing to take care of. What happened to his gun?
I had been carrying the gun in the vehicle.
Why?
At the suggestion of Mr. Saunders, because I did travel every weekend back and forth a considerable distance. There was one occasion where...
Travel where?
To Illinois.
For what?
To visit him.
Okay.
There was an occasion where I had a blowout with the tire. Somebody approached the vehicle while I was waiting for the repair service, and at that time he suggested I should keep the gun in the car for emergency situations like that.
Is that true?
No, that's not true at all. Ma'am, I've been with Kim for 10 years, a decade before I went away. Kim has never touched a gun. She was scared of them. If I had one in the wrong spot in her way, she would come get me to move it. I know that she's as awkward with a gun as she would be with an elephant.
Miss Thompson, what happened to the gun? We're going to start over again.
I was going to go visit Mr. Saunders for a family event. I knew that the vehicle would be searched, so I'd taken the gun out of the car and left it in the home of my third party.
What third party?
My witness, Mr. Hogue.
This is your new boyfriend?
Yes.
So you took the gun out of the car and gave it to him?
I did not give it to him. I put it away, and I informed him that I was going to leave the gun in a certain drawer in the house.
Why didn't you leave the gun in your house?
Because when I was on my way to visit him, I was at Mr. Hogue's house at the time, and I remembered, that gun is out there, I need to get it out. So I just came from the Jeep, put it in the house, and I informed him I'm going to leave this here while I go visit.
So on your way to visit him, you stopped at his house?
Right.
Had you told him you had a new relationship?
Yes.
Is that right?
Somewhat. I found out on getting out of jail, I found out when I got into my Jeep and opened up the glove compartment and hotel receipts fell out. That's how I found out.
Step up here, sir. Because I want to deal with the gun first. What happened? Your name?
My name's Gerald Hogue.
Mr. Hogue, what happened to his gun?
There was a disturbance at my house.
What kind of disturbance?
There was a fight between some friends. The police came. They asked were any weapons in the home. I told them yes. They seized the weapons. When I talked to Mr. Sanders about his gun, I told him where his gun was. I told him what he needed to do to get it back.
So the gun was really seized because of a problem that existed in your house with the police?
Yes.
And your gun is, you have the license and registration for your gun?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You know that you can go to the police station and get your gun back if you can prove it's yours.
But I was told so many lies. Originally, she told me that she had the gun.
Well, she already told me one lie, but now we got to the root of it.
Yes, ma'am. But recently, I just found out that, and this is at his word, that the police and I think Jennings have the gun. I have been told so many lies that at a certain point, I stopped dealing with them. I figured I would take it to the court and let the court sort it out.
Mr. Saunders, really all you have to do is go to the police station when the police have confiscated property, and you can identify that property and satisfy them that the property is yours. And I assume your registration for that gun says what kind of a gun it is. What kind of gun is it?
It's a Taurus 9mm.
You don't need that gun for any particular reason, sir.
No, ma'am. I don't need the gun, and as a convicted felon, I'm not allowed to have a gun. So therefore, they will not give it back to me.
Ah.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
May I say something, please?
Yes.
I did call the police to try to get the gun back. I informed them that I had power of attorney for that the gun was not Mr. Hogue's, and that I did have power of attorney plus the receipts for the gun. They told me that since I was not the registered owner, that I could not get the gun. I would have to go to court in order to do so. I had contacted a lawyer. They told me it would be $258 to get the gun. I did not feel that I should put out additional monies when Mr. Saunders still owes me money.
The reason his gun is the police station, his property, whether it be a gun, whether it be a hat, whether it be a collection of baseball cards, is because of you.
Right.
So he has to be compensated for that. That's his property. He can't get it out because there's an impediment to it. But the reason that the gun is there is because of you. So you can become the registered owner of the gun for the limited purposes of selling it. And then he gets the money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She told me already 3 lies today, and we've only been together for 15 minutes. That's why.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lawrence Saunders wants compensation from his ex-girlfriend, Kim Thompson, because her new boyfriend smashed his Jeep and lost his handgun.
What other monies do you say she owes you?
$2,600 for a wheel on my Jeep. $900.
Just a minute, $2,600 for the wheel. Why?
Well, when the car was returned to me, the wheel was leaning.
Yeah.
And it was in her possession, and I figured she owes me for it because who knows who she let drive it.
Well, Mr. Saunders.
Yes, ma'am.
When you lend somebody a car or turn a car over to them for an extended period of time, you assume that that car may be used, driven by her, driven by someone else, and you take certain risks. You're not going to get the car back in exactly the same situation as when you went in 2 years ago. You're a different person, I assume, than you were 2 years ago when you went to jail, right?
Very much so.
Very much so.
Yes, ma'am.
So's your car.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But also, that wheel was leaning so bad that it's unsafe. I do not assume to get my property back in an unsafe condition. Also, ma'am, I'm not upset with anything that happens to my stuff in her possession. But when she lends it out to third parties, that's what I have a problem with. And third parties also who aren't honest.
Well, your arrangement with her was that she paid for the car, make the car payments while you were away, and she would have access to the car.
She agreed to pay for the payments. I also, with the money that I had that she was in possession of, said to her, if you have any problems paying for it, pay for it out of my money.
Did you use his money to pay for the car?
No, ma'am.
That's untrue, ma'am. I have paper right here stating that she did.
I may have made 3 car payments with his money.
Well, why don't you... I just asked you a question. You said no.
I'm talking about over the 2-year period. I used my money to pay for that vehicle.
Well, you were driving the vehicle. And he was driving the vehicle, right?
No, ma'am. He used the vehicle one time.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you that he used it one time, and the one time he used it, he was in an accident. Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
Baloney. Miss Thompson.
It was an ice storm.
Miss Thompson, I don't care if it was an ice storm, a tornado, or a typhoon. If you think that I believe that you only let your boyfriend use that car once, I was born in 1965.
Excuse me. I also have a copy of the report here also of the accident. It says nothing about an ice storm.
Whether it says anything about an ice storm, listen to me. She used the car, and it was your agreement that she would pay for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Once she was using it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you didn't have a car at the time that was usable.
Yes, I did have a car.
Then why would you use his car?
Your Honor, in the very beginning, I only drove I did not drive his car. He asked me to drive it because the alarm vehicle was on there. He was afraid it was going to drain the battery if it just sat there.
All you have to do is put the car up on blocks and take out the battery. Isn't that right? You're not going to use it for a long time?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, you
So
should.
initially, I started driving it just on the weekends. After my car went down in '96, then I started driving his car on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. So you used it all the time?
Full time in '96.
So
But that was a full year after I had been given possession of the vehicle.
Ma'am, I gave her the car with 37,000 miles on it. I got it back with somewhat of 70,000 miles on it.
Right. Because I basically drive 150 miles a day.
I'm interested in, these are the expenses from your 401k, is that right?
That's what itemized description of what she gave me.
Who uses all these Bibles?
I was giving them out.
You were giving them out from jail, in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
He spent hundreds of dollars on Bibles to give to other inmates.
I could think of worse things. You were driving this car when it was in a bad accident, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the insurance cover the cost of that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the cost of repairs for the car?
A little over $5,000.
And how much did the insurance pay?
Everything except for $300, my deductible.
I don't see where she owes you a whole bunch of money, sir. I think she owes you for the gun.
Yeah, well,
I don't think she owes you for the car, and I'm going to get to her countersuit in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Car's a problem. You let somebody have a car, and that's what happens. I think that the 3 car payments that she took out of your 401k, if she was using the car, she has to pay you back for. If she's treating this car as her own, she's driving it, she's letting her boyfriend drive it, it doesn't seem to me that you got to pay for it. That just sounds fair.
Your Honor,
Okay, yes.
The payments that I made with his money was during the time that I was not driving the vehicle on a daily basis, only on the weekends to go visit him. So I don't see where I should be responsible for that full payment.
Why don't you drive your own car to go visit him?
Because his car was newer, he wanted me to drive his car.
That's untrue. Her car.
I don't believe, Miss Thompson, that he ever said that to you.
Her car was down.
The problem is when you tell a lie once to a court, the court tends to look at everything else that you say with a certain amount of suspicion.
Amen.
I don't believe that he ever said to you, please drive my car instead of yours, and I also don't believe that you only drove his car on the weekends if you're telling me that his car was newer than yours.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Lovers that have been together for a while can feel when the other person is drifting off.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. While Lawrence Saunders was in jail, he claims his girlfriend found a new man who damaged his Jeep and lost his gun.
I see two car payments that you made, $854 out of his account.
Because it was behind.
Well, he was in jail.
Your Honor, Mr. Saunders had a habit of never paying his bills or not paying them on time.
Yeah, I have no problem with what she's showing with the money, even using my money to pay for my Jeep, okay? I didn't have a problem with that. I asked her, if it would have been up to me, I would have let the vehicle go back and controlled my money until I got back. She said, no, I'll help you, I'll do it for you, you're going to need a vehicle when you get out, no problem. And I think she did pretty much a good job with the money.
Oh, so what are you here for? Are you just mad at her?
No, I'm not mad at her. Again, my car was not, she promised me, I asked her to promise me that she wouldn't give my stuff away to a third party. Some guy, I figured that, I'm going for a while, I'm not a fool. She might be dating, she wants to date. I mean, she's a young girl. She shouldn't be strapped down with some guy that's away, okay? Go ahead, do your thing. But if you're going to take care, you gave me your word that you would take care of my stuff. If you're going to take care of my stuff, take care of my stuff. If something happens to it, that's an act of God. But if you're irresponsible and you're handing it out to people, you're handing it out to people that I don't know, you're handing it out to people who aren't above board, it's not honest. That's my opinion, but I can express it.
But you gave her permission to do that.
I gave.
You expected that she might let somebody else drive the car as long as she was responsible.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I asked her, and she promised me that she would not.
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you did. You lent it to somebody else.
I lent it to my family members to move some furniture, and I did loan it to Mr. Hogue. And
you had promised him that you wouldn't?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, how much did it cost you to fix up the car?
I had a figure of actually around 3,700 that I lost in trading the car in.
So if he says that he lost money because the car was not driven appropriately by you, Mr. Hogue, some members of your family, and was in an accident, don't you think he should be compensated?
No.
Well, but you think that you have a counterclaim against him for what? You're countersuing him for $5,000. I'd like to hear for what?
For the monies that I paid on the Jeep. Mr. Saunders said that I could have used his money, but he didn't have enough money to cover the cost of the vehicle.
So you want him to pay you for his car that you were using while he was away?
I'm suing him for the fact that he has been, in my opinion, very dishonest about the whole transaction with the vehicle.
Why?
Because, Your Honor, he had initially told me that he was going to pay me back for keeping his vehicle.
Did you ever tell her that?
No.
I believe that you never told her. Ms.
Now,
Thompson,
why would you believe him and not me?
Because you told me already 3 lies today, and we've only been together for 15 minutes.
And he has not told you a lie?
That's why. And because it doesn't have the ring of truth. What you're saying doesn't have the ring of truth to it. It just doesn't. And let me tell you why. Because there were times when he had plenty of money in the bank, and you didn't take the money out of his account to pay for the Jeep. And because according to his statement, which I believe, without his prior authorization, you went and refinanced this car because the payments were too high so that you could make the payments. Is that true?
No, ma'am.
You mean this car was never refinanced?
Yes, it was. I refinanced the vehicle with his credit union because it was a cheaper monthly payment and less of an interest rate.
For you to pay. And then you made the payments.
And eventually he would have had to have paid with no job. How was he going to make a $427 payment each month with no job?
Ms. Thompson, so what you're telling me is while you had a new boyfriend, you were concerned about what would happen to Mr. Saunders when he got out of jail.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Ms. Thompson, so what you're telling me is while you had a new boyfriend, you were concerned about what would happen to Mr. Saunders when he got out of jail.
Yes, I was.
The countersuit is dismissed. On your lawsuit, sir, this was a very good lesson for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? I wouldn't give my closest relative power of attorney over my money without my having the ability to co-sign for it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very bad idea. I am only dealing now with this gun because as far as I'm concerned with regard to the Jeep, which is now sold, she used it, she paid for it for a substantial period of time. You sold it, whatever monies that you got, you lost money, but some of the monies that you got for it were monies that she paid. It was almost like renting a car from a rental company. She had the ability to use that car for almost 2 years, so she used it. It's a wash. You owe for the gun. The gun should not have been in his house. The gun should have been where he left it, in a vault, someplace safe. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. Thank you. That's all.
You may step out. Back over to your right, please. Judges, number 10 on the calendar in the matter of McBriar versus Golden. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. Be seated, please. Have a seat.
I've read your papers. Ms. McBriar, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for about 4 years.
Yes.
During that time, he says he paid all the bills. Is
Yes,
that right?
That's right.
But prior to your separation, which was not a happy one, according to what I've read, she says you ran up a phone bill of about $640.
That's not true.
Well, tell me about it.
Your Honor, I have the phone bills right here. What I do, Your Honor, is every month I am on a fixed income. So every month...
What kind of fixed income?
I am on disability. I am on SSI. Okay, so every month what I do is I call the phone company and I asked one of the reps what is the amount of my phone bill before I even get it, so I'll know how much I'm going to pay out for my phone bill. So on April 17th, I got up and I called the phone company. Bernard was still in the bed, he was asleep. And I asked her the amount of my phone bill. And she told me it was $624.13.
For 1 month?
For 1 month.
Yes.
And so I was speechless. I was speechless, and I automatically just started sweating because I had never had a phone bill that big in my life, you know, and so I couldn't speak to her. I kind of just.
So what happened?
So what happened was I said, well, what made the bill $624 and you know, what made the bill this high? You know, I was actually yelling at her, you know, and so she said, well, she said you have quite a bit of long distance phone calls on your bill to Virginia. Most of them are to Virginia, and you have a lot of toll calls.
So she sent you a bill. You ultimately got a bill.
Yes, I did get the bill.
Would you get the bill? Sure. Thank you. So, what happened? You got this bill. He's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
You woke him up, I assume.
Yeah. Yes, I did. No.
I'm curious. How did you wake him up?
Actually, I didn't wake him up. I got off the phone with the rep, and I sat there because I didn't want to go in a rage and yell at him, like, you know, and start this big thing.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so he was coming out the bedroom when I was going to approach him, and it was in the hallway. And so I said, Bernard, I said, why did you run my phone bill up to $624?
Did you say it in that tone?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And so he said, baby, I didn't know I did that. And so I said, well, you did.
What was the phone bill usually on a monthly basis?
Usually on a monthly basis, my phone bill runs me maybe $40, $50 at the most.
Okay. Your financial arrangement with Mr. Golden was that he paid the rent on the apartment?
He paid the rent and the utilities.
Well, the phone is a utility.
Well, the phone was not a utility. No, it was not. Because that was my phone in my name
So he paid the gas and electric and the rent. And what about the food? Who paid the food?
I bought the food.
Sometimes she did. Not all the time. She never bought food. She always claimed with accusations with different bills.
I'm just trying to get some sense of the financial arrangements.
No, excuse me, Your Honor. You know I bought food. Don't you sit up here and lie and tell me I did not buy food.
No,
I
he
bought
didn't.
food every month.
Madam,
Not
look
all
at me.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
yell at him. He said that you bought some food and he bought some food.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Okay.
All right. But he paid the rent. How much was the rent?
The rent was $650. I mean $550. I'm sorry.
Okay, plus the utilities.
Plus utility, lights, and gas.
Okay, and your arrangement was whatever the overage was on this phone bill, you were supposed to pay for it.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
All right. She says that you joined the psychic hotline.
No, that's not true.
Did you do that?
No.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Order.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Yeah. Yes, he did. I have proof that he joined the psychic hotline.
Let me see it.
No, I did not.
Did you call the psychic hotline?
No, I did not. I don't know anything about it. Never did.
Matter of fact,
she has a block on her phone for 900 numbers. She has a block on her telephone.
Yes.
For all the calls that you can't call long distance.
Did you ever see this phone bill, Mr. Golden?
No,
Well, we're going to show it to you. I was curious, Ms. McBriar, about something else that I read in your complaint. Because you said during that morning when you confronted him, look at me, madam.
Yes.
During that morning, you said because you feared what he might do, you called the police on him.
Well, I called the police on him because, see, Bernard has threatened to kill me. He has threatened to kill me. He has done a lot of things. He has a domestic violence record already. And he does not like police. He told me if I ever called the police on him again that he would kill me.
Had he done anything to you before you called the police that day?
That day he hadn't done anything to me, no.
But you were afraid once you confronted him with the phone bill.
I was afraid for my life.
Could I finish?
Yes,
you can't talk over each other.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but
okay.
I'm upset. I'm very upset.
All right. He said, so you called the police came, you left?
I wasn't home when the police came. I wasn't at there at all.
Had you known that she called the police?
I didn't know who she was calling on. I know she was, she just said, I'm pressing charges, as far as I know, when I was leaving the house.
What were you pressing charges for?
No, excuse me, Your Honor. You know what? He's lying, okay? He's lying.
About what?
Okay, when I called the police, they asked me, like they always do when I call the police, they asked me what was he wearing. When I was describing to them what he was wearing, he took off on his bike out the side gate. Okay. So I wouldn't describe what he was wearing.
That's not true. I was leaving anyway to make a phone call because I didn't want to use her telephone because she was already furious of me about the bill.
You didn't want to use my telephone. You always use my telephone. That's why it's $747 at this
you
time.
very selfish with your phone.
But yes, I'm selfish with my phone because...
Ma'am.
Will you please? Quiet, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He asked God to destroy me, to not talk on the phone.
Ms. McBriar, everybody's got a wish list. That's his wish list.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tamara McBriar wants her ex-boyfriend to pay the $600 phone bill she says he left behind when they split.
Ms. McBriar,
yes.
Let me tell you what I don't understand here. Okay?
Yes.
At the start of this case, you told me that each month you called the phone company because you're on this fixed disability income.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
What's the nature of your disability?
Panic attacks.
And how long have you been on
Since 1989.
You told me that you called the phone company each month so that you could set aside an amount of money for the phone bill. Now, these phone bills that you presented me with, so I assumed when you called, this $624 was for 1 month. But that's not true according to these phone bills. You're showing me bills for December, January, February, March, all totaling.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. I'm not showing you. No, I'm not.
Just a second. Then I have the bills for March,
you have the
which you're talking about, and the bill for March, the total bill. Trying to figure it out.
I have the March bill right here.
You didn't hand me the front page of the March bill. Let me see the front page of the March bill, please.
That was never paid. Also, this was...
Shh. Listen to me. I want you to look at these bills, madam. You're telling me that all the phone calls he made that are in question now are the bills for that 1 month, March and April, because you told me that you called each month before that to get your bill.
Yes, I do, Your
Well,
Honor.
then take these back. Take a look at those. Those say December and January.
Okay.
Am I correct? Am I correct?
No, they say April 10th.
No, keep reading.
April 10th.
Read the phones. Read the dates on the phone calls.
Okay, yes, the dates on the phone call, those were the dates that the phone calls were made.
December, correct?
Yes.
January. Keep going. Keep looking.
I see December, January. Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, so I assume you paid those.
No, I did not pay these.
Well, so I'm not following you. If you didn't pay those and you got those bills in December, January, February, and you didn't pay those bills, then you knew that there was an outstanding balance because your March bill is only $120.97.
Right.
It's $120.97.
Yes. That's money that I had to take and pay for Bernard because, see, when I would ask Bernard to pay the phone bill, he would tell me that he couldn't give me the money at the time because he had to pay the rent. But I would try to explain to him that I have to pay the phone bill because my phone would be disconnected.
Let me tell you what I don't understand. Those bills that I returned to you had a lot of long-distance calls, December, January, a whole bunch of long-distance calls that you have marked off as Bernard's calls.
Exactly.
You, of necessity, had to get those bills in either the end of December or the beginning of January, the beginning of February. What did you do with those bills that you got?
What did you mean what I did with that?
Did Bernard pay them or did you pay them?
I paid them.
He had all those long-distance calls on December and January. Didn't you discuss that with him?
Yes, I did.
Did he pay them?
No, he did not.
Had she discussed them with you?
No, well, the early ones in the past she had, and I gave her $100 before the month before I vacated the apartment. I gave her approximately $100 on the phone bill, contribute towards it, to make for all my calls, local or long distance. And that's when when she told me about the new bill, was the bill had not came yet after I gave her $100 for the first bill. That new bill came after I have gone and left the apartment, vacated.
Well,
Your Honor.
You see, this new bill for $661 doesn't list the phone calls on it.
Well, you asked me for the whole bill.
I understand that, but it's very hard for me to follow, Ms. McBriar, because on the last bill, it doesn't list the phone calls. How is he supposed to know which phone calls he made?
It doesn't list the phone calls because those are the phone. Okay, that $661 is including. It hasn't been paid yet because I can't pay it. I don't have the money because they're Bernard's calls. I mean, I want my money for my phone bill. Your Honor, listen to me, please.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Please listen to me.
I'm trying.
This man, this man here is lying to you.
No, listen, Ms. McBriar, look at this. I want you to look at your March 10th statement. Okay? Look at your March 10th statement. How much does it say is owed on the March 10th statement?
$120.97.
All right. So as of March 1997, you owed $120.
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. Where is the April bill?
I have the April bill.
Tell me what is owed. And just a second, when did you move out?
I moved out possibly on the, let's see, what was it? It was, what was it, date? That's about March.
No.
What date did he move out,
He
madam?
moved out April 17th.
I knew she'd remember. Women always remember those things. Then forget. He moved out on April 17th?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
All right. Now, so your March bill was $120.
Yes.
Now let me see the April bill.
Okay. April, here we are. Let me get it together here. Okay, this is the April bill.
Let me see it, please, with all the calls on it.
Let me make sure I got them together for you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So I'm not going to let anyone run my phone bill up to $640 and not pay it. That's just not me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bernard Golden says he shouldn't have to pay a $600 phone bill because he supported Tamara McBriar for 4 years when they were living together.
Oh, you see, I see what happened, Mr. Golden. Now I got it. You made a lot of third-party calls. Because evidently the third-party calls that you made, whoever it was said, I'm not accepting these calls, so they put it all back on her bill in April. Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened, Your Honor.
Yeah, I knew I'd get it. I knew I'd get it. I knew I'd get it. Because our April bill, sir, reflects the fact that all of these phone calls were made in December. Called from Pasadena to Washington, Sacramento, Hampton, Monterey. You know what people in those areas, sir? What were you doing, making third-party calls? Listen to me. Were you making third-party calls?
Making third-party calls? Yes.
That's what I said.
I was making collect calls.
Well, evidently, whoever initially took the collect call, sir, decided against it. Would you show him these numbers, please? Now, Mr. Golden, you say in your answer that this is all a conspiracy, sir, because she's got a new boyfriend. She wanted you out of the house.
That's true.
That's true.
That's 100% true. Yes. Yes. Plus, what happened was with conspiracy is that she's been talking to her ex-lover for a long time since she's been with me. He's been using up his dad's credit card and showering her down with gifts from the body shops, spending Christmas gifts.
Mr. Golden, did you join the psychic hotline?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
No, ma'am, I did not.
Take a look at those. Take a look at those.
I don't know
bills.
how that got on his bill because
right.
she has a block.
Okay, take a look at those calls, sir. Those numbers have a familiar ring.
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all.
Huh?
Your Honor,
Not
can
all.
I please show you some evidence?
I have just one quick question for you, Mr. Golden. How do you know her phone is blocked for
Because
that?
she told me. Because I made long-distance calls straight from the house, and she
Yeah.
put a block on it
While you were together.
while we were together.
A vote of
And I
confidence
paid for
for
them.
you. Yes.
And I paid for the
All right.
calls.
Give me those phone calls. Now I understand what happened. Or you wanted to show me some evidence before I make a decision in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
I'll take the bill back. Yeah. What?
You really need to go over this. You need to look at this. And you really need to look at this.
You got to get ready for this.
You need to look at this. You need to look at this. And you really need to look at this.
And you can read one of them prayers for me too, Your Honor.
These are prayers, sir?
There's a prayer. My special prayer. I'm praying to
his
Jehovah
special
Adonai.
prayers to
My
whoever.
father.
No, it's
When
not
she
your
was doing-
father.
Just a second. How is this relevant to the phone bill?
Just go ahead.
I don't want to read them all, please. I don't have time. I've got a lot of other work to do
They're
today.
irrelevant to the phone bill because he asked God to destroy me, to not talk on the phone, and get rid of my girlfriends and destroy me, rebuke me.
That's because
Listen
she
to
was,
me, Miss McBriar. Everybody's got a wish list. That's his wish list.
Oh, my God. Well, his
What
wish
is
list
this?
is terrible.
those,
His wish list is
What is
terrible.
this? What is
It's
this?
terrible. Look at that. Look at where he's from. Look at
that's
that.
my birth certificate.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even know she
Oh
had that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's where you call. That's where you call.
Oh, you mean you call you're just showing this to me to
Yes.
show that he calls Virginia?
Yes.
He doesn't deny that he made all those calls. He can't look me straight in the eye, square in the eye, and tell me that he didn't make those calls. He did
Right.
make the calls.
Look at that. He said he cut. Look at that. That was me. That was me. That was me. He cut my face out and said he placed it under the Virgin Mary to keep us together.
You know how many wedding albums I've seen with just that sort of thing done?
We don't have a wedding album. We're not even married.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, listen to me. You owe her the money, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You can't
Yes, ma'am.
leave her with this phone bill.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that your relationship didn't work out, but it didn't. You
See,
can't
but-
make all these phone calls. They didn't come to her
See, you-
until after you had vacated the premises.
See, Your Honor,
Yes.
I don't think it's fair for me to pay the bill because the reason why I said this because I supported her for 4 years. Plus, she's when she was not on disability, she was not taking her medication. I was the one who had to be there by her bedside, take her to the hospital when she had a panic attack from a chemical imbalance.
Excuse me, Your
Listen
Honor.
to me, Mr. Golden. Your arrangement was that you paid your long-distance phone bills while you were living there. Is that right?
True.
That was your arrangement?
Yes.
Because you moved out doesn't mean that arrangement ceases. You have to pay the money. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $640. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out, please.
And on the next.
This is case number 201 on the calendar in the matter of Boyer versus Mills. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Boyer, you're suing the defendant for $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me why she owes you $5,000?
Well, it all started when I had a financial ad running in the newspaper.
When was this?
Back in spring of 1994. For personal loans. I'm an investor, and she answered the ad asking for a loan. And I said, well, you really didn't qualify for the loan. What's the problems? And she discussed them briefly with me. I said, well, let's get together and maybe I can help you out. Because she sounded like she had a desperate situation.
Am I correct, Mr. Boyer, that in 1994 you began to have a relationship with Miss Mills?
Yes, we did.
And she lived in your home occasionally, is that right?
Well, she moved in.
Yes. And in 1994, sir, how old were you?
Well, I was 58.
You were 58. And how old were you, Miss Mills, in 1994?
I was 18, turning 19.
You were 18. Did you feel uncomfortable about that, Mr. Boyer?
Not really.
She's 18 years old. She's a baby.
Yeah, that's right.
In any
I
event.
thought she was 19, going on 20.
Well, that makes all the difference in the world,
no,
sir.
I mean, no, just a matter of factual accuracy, I think. Yeah.
In any event, from a reading of your complaint over the years, you helped her financially and supported her, is that right?
At certain points of time, yes.
Well, she lived in your house and you paid the
Well,
rent?
it was really like in 3 different stages. First of all, if you want to call this the sugar daddy stage, it was only 4 months.
Well, I'm glad you did, so I
Well,
didn't have
you know,
to.
I just put it all on the table. That was the first 4 months. I played by the sugar daddy rules. She didn't play by the princess rules. In other words, I did
Why don't you
everything I
explain
felt.
that? Just a second. I'm a little stupid, so why don't you explain that to me?
Okay. I fully supported her, got a car for her use, paid her tuition in school. I was trying to get her, be a bridge for her to get from when she was, when I first met her, which was down and out big time, to getting through school, getting through her surgical technology school, being successful, and treating her like a first-class girl during that period. And I was there to carry it all the way through. I don't think she saw it the same way because she had boyfriends on her side. She was having sex with other guys. She brought home an STD for me. Thank you very much. Sexually transmitted disease. And I told her to pack up and get out. And I gave her some big money to go back to Alabama so she could get there safe and sound. None of the debts I'm asking for her to repay occurred during that period of time. They occurred much later. When she wanted to come to my house, she was begging me to come to my house. I said, okay, but not on the same terms. You work your part-time, I'll help you through school, furnish free rent and food.
During that second period of time, sir, did you have sexual relations with the defendant?
Occasionally, although I backed off, and she was wondering why, because...
The word is occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah.
Okay, so she was 19, 20, and you were close to 60 at the time?
Yeah, approximately.
Okay. And is that the period of time that you're talking about, these when loans were made to her?
That's right.
What were the loans for?
She had a real bad habit on the telephone, long-distance phone calls. After I cut her off, she went to her sister, got her calling card, ran up $600 in 2 months. I talked to her sister, so I know. She comes, so now she has no way to make calls. So she makes third-party calls, and the third party doesn't know that she's making these calls, charging her number, charging to their number. I get the phone bill 3 months later for March calls. It's a June phone bill. She says, oh, I'm going to pay you. As soon as I call her, she says, oh, I'll pay you. She never paid me, so that's number one.
Okay, this is very simple. She billed them to a third party. The third party ultimately said, I'm not accepting the charges. They billed them back to the phone, your phone in your house.
This is after she already moved out.
Okay. I really should be right up front with you. I find your initial position really very unsympathetic. Do you understand me?
Sure.
You know, I mean, this is a court, and we're bound by certain rules. If she owes you money, you're going to get that money. But I find a 60-year-old guy playing a sugar daddy to an 18, 19-year-old girl, it's sort of, you get what you deserve. That's the way I feel. Now, she may have been a pretty savvy 18, 19-year-old girl, but even a pretty savvy 18, 19-year-old girl is still a baby.
She's
not fully
very
cooked.
street smart.
Street smart, yes, but not fully cooked, sir. And not fully cooked. So,
but
I mean, you played sugar daddy. You played sugar daddy, and sometimes there's a meltdown, and you get your fingers burned.
If she wants to accept that role in my life, then she should do it right, and not be having sex with all these different guys and having all these different guys call the house. How long am I supposed to put up with this stuff? And be right and be good.
It's one of the problems that you face, sir, when you're 60 and you fool around with somebody who's young enough to be your grandchild.
Okay, that second period.
All right.
Hey, I know their age.
What else?
I got that.
What else does she owe you
Doesn't
for?
mean I'm still not a man.
Come.
At 60 years old, I'm still a man. I'm much more capable than a lot of punks out there living with their mothers, and they're sleeping with these girls. At least I can take care of business. Tell me about it. And I can do everything they can do, and maybe better.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I knew it was going to come down to this lowest common denominator, sex with a young girl. Big deal. Man, they should have it so good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Demetria Mills says 60-year-old retired aerospace executive George Boyer knew she had another boyfriend when they made their sugar daddy arrangement.
What else?
Next one, she wrecked my Porsche, making an illegal U-turn.
I'm not considering that she's wrecking your Porsche, sir. Did she agree to pay you for it?
She agreed to pay me for it.
Did you ever agree to pay?
She told her relative she'd pay for it.
Shh. Did she ever agree with you?
Yes.
When?
After it was wrecked. She came home feeling real bad.
Let me see the loan agreement that she made with you. That I'm going to look at.
There it is right here. It's itemized on page 3.
All right.
She agreed to pay this back.
Just a minute.
And she knew she owed it to me. This is during the second period, and I was not playing sugar daddy during that period. I was just helping her out. I was just trying to be nice to her. Excuse me. She had problems.
All right, let's see your end, Miss Mills.
George made a proposition to me. He knew that I was vulnerable. He took...
Don't tell me what he knew. You moved in. How long had you been living alone?
Not very long. This was my roommate before I moved in with George, and we were there just a few months.
Where do you originally come from?
I'm originally from Alabama.
So you lived with George for a while in sort of this relation. He was taking care of you and giving you money. Then you moved out. For how long?
Basically for 3 years. He took care of me even when I moved to Alabama. George was sending me money. George took me on trips. George sent me to Alabama a few different times. George bought a car.
Boyfriends paid a trip too.
George, and that's George's problem right now, Judge Judy, is I'm not in his home. This is why he's doing this to me. Had I still been in his home, he wouldn't have a problem with me now. When I made the decision to move out of his home was because I needed to be by myself and on my own, and I didn't want to be in that situation anymore.
Well, I agree with you. You shouldn't have been in the situation in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay, and for that, he's more responsible than you are because of his age. He should be a little bit smarter. He should be 3 times as smart as you are because he's 3 times as old. But you do acknowledge, even in your answer, that you owe him some money.
Yes, but this is not the agreement. The agreement that I signed for that car, I signed that agreement in January of 1995. I'm sure he has a copy of it. I've seen it in his files of his records. That was for a 1989 Buick that he bought for me.
Now, did you pay him for it?
No, I did not.
So you acknowledge?
Yes, I did.
If I bought it for, how come I'm the lien holder on it?
She's the lien holder, but I'm the registered owner.
Listen to me. What are you fighting about, Mr. Boyer? She acknowledges that she owes you $3,000, which you haven't paid any part of, plus interest at 6%. Correct?
Correct.
You acknowledge this.
Deal.
What?
I gave her a good deal, 6% interest.
You gave us some good deal, sir. Byrd, do me a favor.
Your Honor,
Take the old calculator while we're finishing this case up. Would you do 6% interest on this money since '95?
This is after she cheated on me.
Excuse me,
I heard she cheated on you, sir. I heard all of that. I'm telling you, your position with me, Mr. Boyer, is not terribly sympathetic, sir. I mean, I don't know whether you find women who are contemporaries not as interesting as children, but at age 18, she's really still a child. And you may say, oh, she's sophisticated, and she's worldly, and she's savvy, and she's street savvy.
Right.
Mr. Boyer,
Yes, ma'am.
she's a baby. 18 years old and a baby, and vulnerable because she doesn't have any money, and you got some money, and it's very tempting. But you are not a very sympathetic person in my eyes, sir. You're going to get some of the money, but because she signed for it. Do you understand? But the rest of the stuff, I'm not so sure about.
Excuse me, Judge Judy?
What?
You know, everything besides that car that George did for me because he wanted to do it. I mean, for 3 years, I'm 23 now, just turned 23 Friday. Would somebody do that kind of stuff for 3 years if they did not want to?
Miss Mills, I haven't gotten to you yet. You are a beautiful, seemingly intelligent young woman who should have more pride in herself, even when you're 18, to sell your body for money, which is what you did. That's what you did. That's being no different than a prostitute. You may have used the money to go to school, to go on trips and whatever, but he bought the services. That was the arrangement. He's an old lecher. No question about it. That's what he is. And I'm being kind to Mr. Boyer. You, on the other hand, sold your body for money.
It was an agreement that we had. That was the basis of our arrangement. He was to give me what I needed, and I gave him.
You sold your body for money. You are worth more than that. As a woman, smart, good-looking woman, you're worth more than that. I don't care if you have to work 2 jobs. I don't care if you collect cans. I don't care if you clean people's houses. I don't care if you drive a bus, drive a car, drive a cab. You do whatever you can so that you don't have to sell your body for money.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. And later today,
you're a pathetic little girl, you're immature, and I'm sick of your crap. You owe me $1,500.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Demetria Mills says 60-year-old retired aerospace executive George Boyer knew she had another boyfriend when they made their sugar daddy arrangement.
Mr. Boyer, you are a very lucky man today, sir.
Gee.
Because despite the fact that I find that your arrangement with this young lady is the antithesis of good manners, good breeding, or anything moral, I am awarding you what she signed for in her contract, which was payment on the car, and I am awarding you $3,360. As far as her other bills are concerned, swallow them. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back to your right, please.
She's fully grown up. I don't care what her age is. She knows what she's doing, and she's cagey. Judge Judy focused on the sugar daddy stuff because I'm 60. I'm some ancient old man who doesn't have a right to be a regular human being and expect to be treated like a human being, expect people I have agreements with to keep their agreements with me.
And now the next case.
Parties on Glass versus Carr. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Tiffany Glass is suing her former roommate, 20-year-old Kelly Carr, because she says Kelly moved out of their apartment, giving only 5 days' notice and leaving behind numerous unpaid phone bills.
Miss Glass, Miss Carr was your roommate?
Yes.
Did you know her before she moved into your apartment?
No, I did not.
Did she answer an ad? Is that how she got your apartment?
No, she got it through a friend of mine.
And you have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
What was her rent?
$375.
And how long were you living in bliss with the defendant?
She moved in February, and it was fine. You know, we totally got along. It was fine in March, and it kind of started to go down at the end of March. You know,
Now, she paid you for February?
Yes.
She paid you for March?
Yes.
When did she move out?
At the end of May.
She paid you for April?
Yes.
She paid you for May?
Yes.
So why are we here?
Because she left at the very end of May, and she gave me 5 days' notice to find somebody new and decided that she didn't have to pay anything else.
Did you have a lease with her?
No.
So?
She just left.
You weren't getting along?
Correct.
Is that right?
Right.
Why weren't you getting along?
Well, I didn't really know. There wasn't enough communication between the two of us.
But you knew enough to know that you weren't getting along?
Pretty much. But there was never enough, oh, well, I'm moving out. Oh.
It's hard to live with somebody.
Yes, it is.
Well, since she paid you for the months that she was there and she moved out 5 days before the end of the month, did she owe you any money? I mean, other than the rent. I'm not considering the rent.
Before that, she didn't pay the deposit when she moved in, but I said, don't worry about that until June because, you know, at the end of June, the other roommate, blah, 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 was going to get hers, and then she could give it to me then.
Fine, so we're not talking about the deposit. But other than the rent, she's paid up?
Oh, no, there's several phone bills.
What phone bills?
Which phone bills? Mm-hmm. There was phone bills from, the statement date was on June 23rd, and then it went back into May. It went from May to June. And there was a $40 900 call that I shouldn't have paid, and there were several long-distance phone calls.
In what amount? Come, quickly.
Around $75.
In long-distance calls?
In long-distance calls.
Okay. Tell me why you left.
I left because living with her was unbearable. I went through, starting back at the end of March, early April, out of the blue, I started getting notes on my bed saying, you need to stay away from my friends. When I first moved in with her, I had just moved down to California. I didn't know very many people. Tiffany was nice, and she took me out. She introduced me to people, but then she tried to take that away. She said, you stay away from my friends. My friends are my friends. Your friends are your friends. You're going to make my life miserable.
So girly things.
Girly things.
Girly things. All right. Girly things. You paid February, March, April, and May. She says that you owe her $115 for phone bills.
I owed her approximately $150 for everything. That was gas, everything. And I told her when I gave her 2 weeks' notice that I would be leaving, that I will pay that. You just send me the bills to my grandmother's house, and then I'll send you a check. But when that happened, she began leaving harassing, vulgar phone mails on my voicemail. I would get them at work. They would disturb me at work. I would have to leave work because I would be so upset. I got harassing I have copies of the messages on papers. I have letters that she sent me threatening me.
That you owe her money?
That I owe her money, and if I don't, she's telling I quote, every living soul what I have done to her. I didn't do anything to her. I was protecting myself. I left. I didn't have to give her any notice, but I gave her 2 weeks' notice, being the last week of May, and then the first week of June, and I gave her 1 week's rent.
For June?
For June. I have paper here to prove it.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Explain something to you, Ms. Carr. We don't even have to go into that. She is no longer claiming you owe her any money for rent because I'm not giving her any money for rent. I believe that you paid her all the rent that she's going to get. So you acknowledge that you owed her some money for phone bills. Is that correct?
Right, yes.
Good. Fine. Then we have no problem. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $115. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Judges number 61 on the calendar in the matter of Lawnborg versus Romano. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
I've read your papers and I'm trying to decipher them. A little complicated. What I gather, Ms. Longborg, is that you were both in a romantic and business relationship with the defendant.
That's correct.
How long was the romantic relationship?
We started dating in February of '95, and
when did you go into business together?
June 30th, July 1st of 95.
And that was a pool business?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, sometime in 95, the defendant was using your van.
Right.
Stopped for speeding. He had some outstanding warrants from tickets. And you bailed him out.
Right.
How much did you pay for the bail?
For that one in July, it was $2,050.70.
All right, let's take that one first, sir. Tell me about that incident with the van.
I got pulled over. It was towed due to lack, no license.
No, you had no license.
Correct. I had no license. Okay. I don't think I was arrested that day. I'm not sure. They did tail the van. We got it back. But as I was taking care of tickets, since I had a lot of failure to appears, and these tickets were 5 years old, they decided they wanted to hold on to me when I went in to take care of them. And that's when the bail was, that's when she would bail me out.
Bailed you out and paid the tickets?
Right.
Did you pay her back?
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Let me see.
Okay. Well, through our business relationship, Mrs. Longmore ran the business and was paying herself back for many other things, but also the tickets. I do have the business books here, which is in her writing.
Your Honor,
just a minute. You say she was paying herself back through writing checks.
To herself, correct. Marked loan payment.
Is that correct?
This was a personal loan guaranteed by him to pay me back from his personal funds, not through the business.
Well, did you take any money out of the business other than your salary?
I have not taken a penny out of the business for a salary. I loaned the business initially $4,000 to buy the first route.
Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And $25,000 in January of '96 to buy a second route. The loan payments that are coming out of this checkbook for the business were for the purchase of prior pool businesses. Has nothing to do with his personal legal problems.
There came a point in time, I assume, when the two of you romantically separated, and I assume at that time...
There was some disagreements. He's a very hostile and angry person and very manipulative. He lived in my home with his children. In my home, I cared for them and paid for them, and I did many things for him. And he did some things for me, helped me take care of my daughter. And I had a zero tolerance for drug use, and he came home one time after he'd gotten stoned with his buddies, and I had packed up all his stuff to move him out, and when he came home, he just packed it, he just moved it right back in and said, never do that again. So that was October of '95. So I've been patiently trying to resolve these conflicts and working on it, and it's just been very difficult. He's very manipulative, and he knows my vulnerabilities, and he presses on them.
Were you paid back all of the money that you put into the business?
No, ma'am.
You told me it's about $29,000 that you put into the business.
Plus the van, right.
Plus the van.
Which he's sold.
Did you sell the van?
Yeah, yeah. She signed the pink slip in a bill of sale. It was paid for. I didn't sell it. I traded it in. I bought a pool truck.
I changed the name after the assault where he beat me up.
When was that?
This particular assault was December 19th of '96.
Was he arrested for this assault on you?
He was, yes. And he made bail. And the person that bailed him out that time got paid back within 10 days.
What happened with that case?
He pled guilty on June 16th, and he got 1 year and 5 days suspended sentence, 3 years probation.
Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, if you want to know what I got, I'll give it to you right here.
I don't know. I want to know if you pled guilty. You don't have to look in your papers for that.
I didn't assault her, first of all.
You didn't assault her?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
But you pled guilty to it?
Yeah. He beat me up 3 times within a 15-hour period. He made bail and went right to my apartment and beat me up again, and that's when he stole the van the first time.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
There's pictures and everything. It's
incorrect.
There's a huge case down in
Mr. Romano,
yes,
you pled guilty to the assault. Is that correct?
No, those charges I didn't. I don't know what I pled to. It wasn't those original charges. I was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, which I was.
What was the deadly weapon?
It's supposed to be a bat.
A baseball bat.
My child's bat.
No, it's a Louisville Slugger.
Where did he hit you with it?
On the leg right here.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You have to have witnesses in order to establish that to me.
Phone numbers. Give them a call.
You give him a call. That's not my job. My job is to hear this case, sir.
And later today,
Miss Marion, you can collect cans in the street and get $15 a week. You have to work and earn $15 a week because you have an obligation.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Former business partners and lovers, Lauren Lonborg and Charles Romano, are fighting over business debts, a computer, and bail money.
Miss Longborg, right now I have on your side $2,060.70. Now I'm going to hear about this cross-complaint. Mr. Romano, you are cross-complaining against her in the amount of $2,100 because you say she wrote letters to your accounts.
Yeah, she wrote
So let me hear about that.
She wrote a letter, pretty nasty letter.
I have the letter.
Yeah, I've got a copy also.
Mhm.
Pretty nasty, stating a lot of falsehoods, making it look like I had beat her up, put her in the hospital for 10 days.
Well, let me take a look at it.
Mrs. Longborg had some stability problems early in our relationship.
Let me read the letter.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you'll come back.
Okay.
Well, you seem to, in a chronological order here, describe not only your business but your personal relationship with the defendant.
Right.
Something, quite frankly, Ms. Longborg, I don't understand. I don't understand why you would have sent the letter talking about the fact that he beat you up, talking about the fact that you were hospitalized for 10 days.
Because that's, I throw the hospitalization in because that's when a lot of everything happened.
Your daughter, who was 9 years old, died.
That's correct. And I was a wreck. And that's when he took advantage of me.
That is not true. Mrs. Longborg stayed with me after her daughter passed on, and after she got out of the hospital for 2 weeks in March, from March 15 on, because she was getting kicked out of her apartment.
Well,
and
listen to me, it sounds to me as if she has had a very difficult time.
Yes, she has, definitely. And
I mean, you lose a child, that's the most difficult thing in the world.
This child was severely handicapped. She was a special child to me and my children. I love this little girl just as much as anybody. She was taken to my mother's daycare. I treated her just like she was one of my own. I mean, like Mrs.
That's all true, but it doesn't give him license to steal everything from me.
Why did you write this letter?
At the time, the DA had assured me that this was going to trial. This was the 5th trial date, and that Wes was looking. I didn't say he was going. I said it was told to me that he may be spending as much as up to 1 year in prison or in jail for these crimes. Wes was making arrangements with his buddies to take over the accounts, which these are incredible estates, and I would not trust his buddies.
Ms. Longmore, there is something disingenuous about what you say to me. I'm going to tell you why, madam. Because if your concern was for the business, a very simple letter to the clients indicating that there may be an interruption in service. I cannot vouch for the personnel who are going to be dealing and servicing with the accounts, and since you've been dealing with me over the phone, I want to let you know I am no longer associated with the business and cannot personally vouch for the people who will be servicing your pool in the event that Mr. Romano is not with us for a year. You instead chose to, in a very systematic way, allow these strangers into your private life.
That was my choice.
Well, now, you have to establish to me, sir, that you had some loss as a result of that.
Well, I lost, it has changed. I lost one more customer as of this letter.
Well, you're going to have to establish to me that your loss of business was as a result of this letter.
Right here. Here's 4 these people. As this gentleman was with me as we're on the route, people are coming out. Hey, what's this letter? Are you going to jail or not?
Now, listen to me, sir. You have to have witnesses in order to establish that to me.
This gentleman right here witnessed. They said, I don't want service anymore. I don't want to get in the middle of this. I'm sorry. Thank you for your service. Goodbye.
Now, listen to me. They have to come to court.
They don't want to get in the middle of it. They don't want to come to court.
Well, they may not want to get in the middle of it, but you've established one part of your claim. The second part of your claim is that as a result of that, you lost business.
Phone numbers. Give them a call.
You give him a call. That's not my job. My job is to hear this case, sir. Your job is to bring witnesses into a court so that I can question the people and make a determination as to their veracity and what motivated them and ask them the questions, not somebody who overheard them. That's why we do not allow hearsay in a court.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
she got a payment once every month. And if she didn't, she sure got on my case and got it somehow.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Former business partners and lovers, Lauren Lonborg and Charles Romano, are fighting over business debts, a computer, and bail money.
Unless the clients are here to tell me that they stopped using your services, sir, because of this letter, I am not entertaining your cross-complaint. I mean, I think that the letter was in terrible, was very poor taste, very bad judgment, and certainly unprofessional.
I felt no other alternative.
She's trying to slander my name for me to lose customers because she has nothing to lose. She is not part of the business. She is no longer part of the business as of December, and she's merely just trying to ruin my name.
How do you determine that?
Miss Longborg.
Sorry.
I'm not getting into whether you own any piece of this business or not. Certainly, if you owned a piece of the business and you wrote that letter, that would be dumber than dumb. Mr. Romano, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not believe, sir, that the plaintiff has been paid back all of the money that she loaned the business to start it. You can't even look me square in the eye and say she's been paid back all the money. But that is not the subject of this lawsuit, because that's far more than the jurisdiction of this court. I am entertaining your application for the money that he owes you as a result of the personal loan that you made to him for his bail and for the tickets, because I really don't believe that you have been paid back for that. So I'm awarding you a judgment in the amount of $2,060.70. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'll back up to your right, please.
I have zero tolerance. You knew that on the day one.
I smoke pot once in a while. Shoot me. You want to do it right now? Shoot me.
Am I done?
And now the next case.
All parties on Olson versus Marion. Step forward, please.
34-year-old Brenda Olson is suing her childhood friend, Nikki Marion, for not repaying a loan. Nikki says she doesn't have the money or a job.
According to your complaint, Miss Olson, the defendant was a childhood friend of yours. And there came a time when she needed some money and you lent her money.
Correct.
She refuses to pay you back. So tell me about the loan. When was it made? Why?
Well, she came to me. She was back payments on her house that she had just bought, and then her car had been breaking down and stuff. So she needed some money to repair her car and to catch up on her house payment so she wouldn't lose her house. So I borrowed her the money on one of my credit cards.
How much money?
At the time, it was about $3,098. As time went on, she paid, wrote checks to my credit card and everything was going good, and then she wrote some bad checks to them, and I got bad credit over the deal. So she written them an apology letter, which I brought with me too. And she got my credit all good again, and then she started sending them money orders. And just recently, like about 4 or 5 months ago, she lost her job, and she told me that she just couldn't pay me anymore, and so I asked her to borrow the money from her parents because I couldn't afford to pay it all off either. And if I would have paid monthly, I would have been ending up paying more than I ever borrowed her. And she told me that she asked her parents, and her parents said no, and that she just wasn't going to pay me. So I told her I was going to take her to court. She said, well, get in line with everybody else that had judgments against me. So I felt hurt because I did it as a friendship thing and wasn't going to see my money.
How much money in total does she owe you now?
Now, with the whole total, probably about $3,600.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the proof of that, please, and I would like to see the letter of apology that she sent to you. Thank you. Miss Marion, how come you borrowed this money from your friend? You did borrow it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, how come?
To have my car fixed and to make some payments on my house.
Wasn't there anyone else you could have asked for the money? Relative? Parents?
No.
Why?
My parents won't borrow me money.
Have you borrowed money from them before?
Years ago.
Did you pay them back?
No.
Is that one of the reasons why they won't lend you money again? Okay. So you went to your friend, and she lent you the money.
Correct.
So why don't you pay her back this money?
Well, first of all, I don't have a job, and I have no income.
Why not?
Because I was laid off of my job of 7 years.
When?
In November.
Let's talk about before November. You weren't paying her back before November.
That's not correct. Prior to November, I was paying her. I was giving her cash and money orders when I could.
When you could?
Well, she got a payment once every month. And if she didn't, she sure got on my case and got it somehow.
You seem to have a resentment when you say she got on my case.
Yeah, because this is I don't know, it's a rivalry for us. I mean,
Why?
Because it's back and forth. I've lent her money, she pays me, I've lent money, it's back and forth. It's been for years.
How much money did you lend to her?
Over the years, I don't have a true record of it. We've known each other since we were little kids.
I'm talking about big money, Miss Marion. I mean, did she ever borrow $1,000 from you?
No. I'd say in the hundreds.
Paid you right back, though.
And she paid you back?
Yes.
Well, that's the problem. What's your excuse? What's your defense to this case?
I don't have a job and I can't pay her the $50 a month that she wants. And when I lost my job, I called her and asked her if I could pay her less than that. And her attitude was fine.
That's what the interest is on the
credit card. And then 2
card.
weeks later, she calls me and all of a sudden, I'm taking you to court and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't ask to never pay her. I asked to pay her less until I got a job.
She has to pay these bills on her credit card because this money was borrowed on her credit card.
She chose to put it on her credit card. Thing is, I didn't go up to Brenda Olson and say, Brenda, please borrow me money. Brenda knew my situation. Brenda offered to borrow me the money. How she chose to get the money,
putting it on a credit card.
how she chose to get the money was her choice. If she chose to put it on a 17% credit card, that's her choice. I didn't ask her to do that.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
How much are these monthly payments that you have to make?
At least $60 because $35 is interest alone. How are you ever going to get it down?
So you have to pay at least $60 a month. Most of it is interest, but some of it is principal.
Sure.
$60 a month. Now, I'm not really good at math, but that comes to a little less than $15 a week, right? $15 a week. Ms. Marion, you can collect cans in the street and get $15 a week. So you can't tell me that you can't work and earn $15 a week. Doing something. Do you understand? You have to work and earn $15 a week because you have an obligation. And this lady doesn't look to me as if she's rolling in dough. Doesn't look to me as if she's living on a trust of $1 million. Do you work?
I clean houses on my hands and knees.
Ah. And how much do you get a day for that?
Well, usually about $35.
Very good. Why don't you do this? See if one of the people that you work for can give her a day's work.
Yeah.
She could just go to work one day, clean somebody's house, and, madam, you will have your monthly payment to her after 2 weeks.
Minus the $50 a day daycare, I'm negative $15.
Just a second. Let me ask you this question. Work out an arrangement with a friend of yours so that one day you watch your friend's child and one day they watch your child, and you go out and get a job, and if it's cleaning houses like the plaintiff does in order to get her money, that's what you do. We understand each other? Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
I'll be back. This is case number 143 on the calendar in the matter of Snook versus Snook. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
You folks were married for 8 years. Still married, but in the process of getting a divorce.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
You have 2 kids?
Yes.
How old are they?
8 and 3. 8 and 3.
Boy and a girl?
Yes.
At issue in this case are 2 loans that were made during the course of your marriage. One for $3,500? $3,800 to your mother.
Yes.
And another one to a friend for $1,500.
Correct.
You, sir, seem to acknowledge that these loans were made, but refuse to contribute towards repaying them.
Yes.
You're going to tell me why in a minute, I assume. Also at issue are possession of wedding photographs. Is that in an album?
There's a few that he has that he's taken out, but I have some, he has some, but I prefer to have them all together.
They're more like personal photos, private photos that she would like to have back.
I'm talking about the wedding photos.
The wedding photos?
Yes.
There was a few he had, but that was not the issue. The ones that were the issue was the private, personal photos that we had that I want back. And the photos of our kids, videotapes of the children that he has.
Well, first, let's talk about the loans, then we'll talk about these photographs. What was this loan for $3,800 to her mother? What was it for?
Money accumulated through the time of our marriage that her mom had loaned her.
What do you mean loaned her?
Excuse me. Yes, thank you.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I don't need help. What do you mean that she loaned her?
Some of the loans I knew about, some of the loans I did not know about. They were for bills that we accumulated.
Well, sir, you seem to acknowledge that her mother made loans to you as a couple
Yes.
for your bills in the amount of $3,800. Now, that doesn't mean that he's responsible to pay the $3,800. You understand that?
That he's not responsible to pay it?
No, he's only responsible to pay a portion of it.
Yes.
Half of it. You seem not to understand that in your papers.
Well, he won't pay any of it.
You understand, at least I hope you understand now, that he is not solely responsible for paying the $3,800. If your mother made a loan to the two of you as a couple, it seems reasonable for each of you to be responsible for half of that loan, unless you can give me some reason why you shouldn't be responsible for half of that loan.
I don't think I should be responsible for any of the loans.
Well, you're going to tell me why in a second. We haven't gotten to that part yet. First, I want to make sure that she's being reasonable. Then I'll get to your being reasonable.
First off, I do think he should pay for most of it too, because part of the loan that we took out, she wrote off $2,500 of it through my college education that I had before I met Jamie. And
I don't understand that.
We had a debt of about $6,500, and she wrote off $2,500 of it as a thank you to me for me paying for my own college.
I'm not talking about your college, madam. I'm talking about the money that your mother lent, come on, for your household bills, which were $3,800. I assume over the course of time this was in dribs and drabs.
Yes, and part of it also was for his vending that he had to take out, and I figure he should pay for that.
For his what?
He has vending machines, like snack machines and stuff.
Were the vending machines the source of your family's income?
No.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I work at special effects and repairs on rides.
And you also have some vending machines?
Yes.
And what did you do with the money that you got from these vending machines?
I was paying on the loan that was taken out for the machines. And the accounts were small, so they weren't making enough to pay the loans.
So you were hoping that this business would get going?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to debate this with you any further. You are responsible for half of these loans. Now, let's get to you. You don't think you should be responsible for any loan to her mother?
Correct.
Tell me why.
Currently, I'm paying out a month right now for my expenses and her expenses, $2,800 a month. That's just monthly payments. I write out every month in checks.
Right.
And then I have another $10,000 of other unpaid bills that I'm going to be responsible to pay for also. So as a contribution towards this, she can take care of that loan while I'm taking care of my living expenses.
Do you work?
Presently, right now, no, I don't.
Well, how are you supporting yourself?
Right now, Jamie is supporting us with what he gives us. But Jamie seems to only want to pay when he wants to pay the bills, and he doesn't have a $10,000 debt that I'm involved in. So I disagree with what he's saying there.
What kind of work had you been doing?
I'm a hairdresser. And I did for 10 years, and I supported Jamie for the first 2 years of our relationship.
I assume that when the divorce is over, you're going to go back to work.
I'm going back to work.
So, sir.
Yes.
Right now, are you voluntarily paying this $2,800, or are you paying it by court order?
Voluntarily.
You're going to have to allocate some of that money towards repaying the loan to her mother. Half of it. Do you understand? $1,800. Half the loan to her mother. Now you have a $1,500 loan to a friend. What was that for? Who wants to tell me?
It was a loan she had taken out from a friend of hers to catch up on some bills we were behind on. And
Mr. Snook, you keep saying she took out the loans to catch up on bills that we were behind on.
Well,
You mean she asked for the loan?
she did.
And you, too, spent the money on household bills that you were behind on.
Yes.
So, why shouldn't you be responsible for paying back half of those bills?
Initially, I would have felt I was responsible to pay back half, or pay the full amount of the loan or half the loan, except for on the time of our disputing of our difficult times, this gentleman started calling the house and asking her out, and they would go out to the bar and they'd meet and have drinks and stuff, and I thought it was very disrespectful for him to go after my wife and as a friend, and I don't feel like I should pay him now.
You don't have to love him, sir. You just have to pay him. And you only have to pay him half, so it should make you feel better.
I felt he was wrong on that because he felt I was having an affair with this guy, Terry, which I wasn't. He felt I was doing something behind his back, so he wasn't going to repay this loan. He tells me flat out that he's not repaying it because he says, I cheated with another man, and now I can do the debt. But that's not true. And
well, whatever. You asked Terry for the $1,500.
Only because he asked me to.
I did not.
Just a second. You sound, madam, you sound like a very, very self-assured person. You didn't ask Terry only because he asked you to. I mean, he didn't strap you down.
No, I don't normally go out and ask people for money.
But you
especially
asked
friends.
Terry for this money. You have to pay $750 back to Terry, and so do you. Do you understand? That's
Yes,
fair.
ma'am.
We're talking about being fair. When a marriage breaks up, there are certain assets, and each of you will want half the assets, and there are certain liabilities.
Yeah, but being that I owe him money, I don't think he should be contacting my wife and trying to go out with her.
That's none of your business at this point.
Well, there was a
Just a second. Don't respond. That's none of your business at
That
this
was
point.
disrespectful as a friend, and then expect me to pay him money after he's trying to sleep with my wife. And then he wants his money back, so he gets her and the money too.
Let me explain something to you. You made this debt. You and your wife made this debt. If it turned out that you didn't like him over anything, whether you felt that he was disrespectful towards you because he was pursuing your wife, whether that's true or not, it's really not relevant. Whether he disrespected you in some other way, that does not negate the fact that you owe this money. Somebody is going to have to pay him back the money, and you originally agreed to pay him back this money as a couple. Period. End of discussion. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. Now let's get to the rest of the stuff, which all sometimes is the most sticky of wickets with regard to people who are divorcing.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She's a black widow, and you let her come in.
Yeah, but
She did her little nest, and you fell for it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melinda Snook says her husband James cheated on her. James says Melinda was unfaithful. While waiting for a divorce, they have brought their dispute over 2 loans before Judge Judith Sheindlin.
Wedding photographs, photographs of the children, videos of the babies. These things are treasures of the children's, not really yours. It's interesting, 50% of the marriages in this country unfortunately fail. It's a sad statistic, but true. And so many wedding albums end up having heads cut out of them. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Because that's what you choose to do. Truth is, when your children are adults and much older and you're not here anymore, your children and grandchildren would like to be able to look at their family histories. So I want you to think of these photographs of your wedding and the times that you spent together with your children as really being, you're holding them in trust for your kids. They're not really yours. The wedding albums really will have no sentimental value for you, but they will for your children. The wedding photographs should not be headless. This picture, you have no head in that picture. He has no head. So I don't care how you deal with that. If one person wants to keep them and put them in a vault, We can do that, or it's very easy. We live in a very technologically sophisticated era. You can make copies of pictures. You can make copies of videos. So you have family videos that are in your possession. Is that right?
Yes.
And you would like them?
Not just the family videos. He also has some personal pictures I want to make sure I get back.
Let's talk about the personal pictures in a second. I'm talking about the children's pictures. If that's not an issue, then don't waste my time.
Oh, no, it is an
we put
issue.
it in the, you put it in your paper, so I'm
yes,
addressing
I want the
it.
videos because he said I couldn't have them.
Sir,
Yes.
she should have every picture that you have in your possession, or a copy thereof. You have pictures in your possession?
At home, yes.
Well, whether they're at home or whatever.
I already made the albums for the kids. That's why I want these pictures back.
Fine. He would like copies of all the pictures that you have. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is that reasonable?
Yes.
Good. So you add them all up. If you have 100 pictures, each one of you pay for 50 and make copies. So now you have half. And if you have a video that you want, is it a video of the kids?
Yes.
How many videos do you have of the children?
About roughly 8 or 9. I have them here.
Let me see what they're on. What kind of thing are they on?
I'm on VHS tape.
8
Just a second. My technical advisor is giving me some information.
You can copy them on a VHS tape.
Good. You can copy them on a
VHS tape.
VHS tape. Make her a copy. So she has a copy and you have a copy. Is that fair?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, the photos that you want, I assume, the personal photos, because of the way you say it to me, probably of photographs that you would not like to have broadcast.
Exactly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believed everything she said, that she was fooling around on me and cheating on me, and I took it very hard.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. A divorcing couple, Melinda and James Snook, have come before Judge Judith Sheindlin to decide who should pay for outstanding loans.
Are they
Yes.
all there, sir?
Yes.
And the tape?
Just a second. I want you,
And
this is a
negatives?
tape,
Yes.
the tape in issue. Don't tell me what's on it. This is a family courtroom. I want you to look at these photographs and tell me if these are the photographs that you have a problem with. Okay?
If they're not all there?
Well, don't speculate. Look.
Most of them.
Okay.
There's a few I can see that he might not call bad, that I still consider bad, but aren't in there.
But these are the worst
Yes.
of the lot.
Yes.
Now, you want them back or you want them destroyed?
Destroyed.
We're good at that. Okay, so
And
you
no
understand the
copies were
ground
made?
rules? Everything that you have of the kids, everything that you have of the kids is going to be copied so that each of you has a copy, so that hopefully the children will have always copies, pictures of themselves growing up,
Exactly.
that you will each have photographs. Hopefully that the children will always have the photographs to look back on. And you, sir, are going to give her a check for $2,650, and you are going to assume those two debts yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay? Now, is there anything that I've left out?
Yes.
What?
A mutual friend of ours that caused this whole thing that he is bothering to leave out why he won't pay the debts.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was convincing, I guess.
Why? Why?
She told me what I wanted to hear.
Just a second. He's paying the debt.
There's more to this than that, though.
Listen to me, madam. I don't have all day. I got a lot of cases to do. I've just resolved every issue that you presented to me in your complaint. Okay? I'm not a psychiatrist. If you have a problem, you should see a therapist. I'm here to resolve legal issues. Now,
Well,
are there any other legal issue of property
Yes.
that I have not resolved?
There was some pictures, as I said, that are missing that brought
know
into
about
a girl. It brings in another friend that caused a lot of problems.
Did you understand what I said, Ms. Nook?
Yes.
Good. Is there any other property that you are interested in
There is.
What?
There's a few, but I know he doesn't have them all. There might be nothing to you, but there are to me.
Listen to me. I have just resolved this. You understand what the court's ruling is?
Yes.
Good. One last bit of advice. You made 2 children. They're very young. They're 8 and 3 years old. You are going to have contact with each other for the next 20 years. Graduations, proms, engagements, weddings, after that, grandchildren. If your marriage is over for whatever reason, I want you to love your children more than you hate each other. Is that fair? Yes. Your children didn't ask to be born into a war zone. And I'm certain that when you had your kids, you had every intention of giving them a loving, secure home with 2 parents. That didn't work out. The children's emotional security should be paramount in your mind. And I want you to understand, and you to understand, that if either of the children has an emotionally damaged parent because of what you do to each other, that's going to hurt the kids. So I'm very serious with you. Love your children more than you hate each other. Okay? That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Good call, Judge. On the calendar in the matter of Trombley versus Trombley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You 2 folks are married, in the process of getting a divorce. You've been married for 2 years. You have a 2-year-old child, Mrs. Trombley. I have your complaint. You are seeking $5,000 from your husband for emotional stress.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'd like you to tell me about it. You have a countersuit. I'll hear that in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm really suing because he broke into my best friend's house.
I tell you,
this
this has nothing to do with your best friend's house. There's nothing in here in the complaint about
Well, he
your
broke
best
in there
friend's
and
house.
attacked me.
Well, let
That's
me hear
what
about
brought
it.
this complaint.
Let me hear about it. The attacking you is something else. Let me hear about the attacking you.
Once he entered the house,
Yeah.
He ran through the house and threw me against the wall and kicked me and then left with our daughter screaming in the living room.
What had precipitated this?
I hadn't come home the night before because
Why not?
Because I was afraid of getting hit. And when I did come home in the morning, he raised his hand to me, and if he hadn't seen my friend, he would have hit me.
That's untrue. There was no threat of violence of her coming home at any point ever. She was with her friend partying late into the night.
He says you do drugs, Mrs. Trombley, and that you depleted the bank account of your family, took checks out, forged checks, ran up bills, forced them into bankruptcy, all because you were doing drugs and staying out, and partying with your friends, etc. Any of that true?
Some of it's true.
What's true?
I do have a past history of drug abuse.
We're not talking about past. We're talking about current.
No, I don't.
What makes you think she has a drug problem?
Oh, I have all kinds of ample evidence to prove that she has a drug problem. Just as of July 18th, I got a call from Burbank Police Department who had just arrested a drug dealer, stating that he had my calling card. I have here 12 pages of the calls that this man made with my calling card. Who was given?
Who is this man?
This man's name is nicknamed Morbid.
You know that person?
Yes, I do.
Well, what does he do for a living?
He deals drugs, right, Jen? He deals drugs.
What does he do for a living?
He doesn't really do much for a living.
He deals drugs. And this is Jen's main drug dealer. This is a man that she went to Mexico with.
While you were married?
What? Last month.
Is that right?
Yes.
Terrific.
My wife disappeared for 3 days on the premise that she was going to look for jobs. At 2 p.m., with no hassle, no fighting, we had made love in the morning. At 2 p.m., she said, I'm on my way to go put some applications in. I did not see my wife for 3 days, at which she had taken both sets of our car keys and left me in the care of our daughter. I have a full-time job. I had to take 3 days off from work. On the third day, risking financial ruin and losing my job, I had to take my 2-year-old daughter to work with me. No calls from my wife.
Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Trombley?
Yes, that's all true. And it was all because I was afraid to come home because he was hitting me.
Afraid to come home, so she takes a vacation with a drug dealer to Tijuana, Mexico.
Mr. Trumbley,
Order.
Let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. I read your answer to her complaint. Her complaint is nonsense. I don't know whether you hit her when you got into the house.
I'll explain to you exactly the events preceding that incident.
Your Honor, we have 2 separate police reports for domestic violence.
We have
and a
one
restraining order
police
that was
report.
put on against him.
Was there
for
ever a
my
trial
protection.
on that restraining order?
Yes, there was.
And what happened to it?
What happened to it?
Today, that case was settled and dropped. Plead out.
What do you mean, settle, drop, plead out? What does that mean?
I pleaded no contest to 1 count of battery.
Does that have to do with this incident?
It has to do with the incident where I pushed my wife away from a front door for not taking our personal life into a hallway.
Was that at her friend's house? Just
Yes.
a second.
Yes.
This is the incident at the friend's house.
Yes, let me...
Let me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll ask you to fill in so that there is some semblance here. According to your answer, she had gone over to her friend Lori's house, right? And this was after she had disappeared for a few days.
No, that's...
She had already disappeared. There were periods of time, according to your answer, sir, that she had left you in care to care for your daughter.
Yes.
And you were afraid that when she went to Lori's house and didn't come home right away, that she was going to do it again.
Well, let me explain a little bit earlier in the evening. It was that very morning that I was late for work. My wife came home at 6:30, where I would have had to have left at 10 of 6 to make it to work. She knows this. We've had many, many fights about it. It's when she showed up with Lori, I did go like this in anger, not to hit her, but just as a show. I'm this angry. How could you do this to me again? That very night, when I came home from work, Lori and Jen and Aubrey were there in the house. They said, we're going to take Aubrey out and get some shoes. They left. They came back at 7:30 p.m. while I was watching TV. My daughter comes through the front door crying, but my wife did not come through the door. I opened up the front door, and my wife was at the bottom of the stairs and says to me, I'm going to the car for a minute. 5 minutes later, she didn't come back from the car, and the car was gone. It's at that time that I assumed she probably went back over to Lori's. I drove over there with my daughter, and that's where she was. I found that that was kind of peculiar.
Screaming your head off.
I wasn't screaming at anything.
Mr. Trumbley.
Yes. May I continue?
No. Because while I can smell a drug problem from at least 15 feet away, and she has a drug problem.
Yes, that's true.
Based upon my assessment of her demeanor and based upon the things that she has said to me so far, I have some trouble with your response. And let me tell you why, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm just a hardworking guy. I have no record. I've never been expelled from school. I'm nothing but a decent guy that was raised the right way.
And later today,
you came in with your girlfriend, Christina, who now lives with you.
Well, I'm going to have him live with me?
Who is your lover? Admit it, okay?
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Russell Trombley denies his wife Jennifer's allegations of abuse and claims she's guilty of neglecting their daughter.
You have a 2-year-old daughter. You say you know your wife has a current drug problem.
Yes.
If your wife has a current drug problem, I don't care what you have to do, you make sure that your wife is never left in charge of your child. You didn't do that. What you wanted her to do was to be around to take care of your daughter. Just a second. And I don't care if you have to get a babysitter. I don't care if you have to quit your job. I don't care what you have to do. You do not leave a drug user in charge of a 2-year-old baby, and I don't care if the drug user is your wife. Number one. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Number two. According to your answer, sir, you went over to the house, to this Lori's house, because you didn't want to be in the position again of having to look for somebody to take care of your daughter when you had to go to work the next morning and you had an early morning call. Is that right?
Yes. We've exhausted all of our daycare issues. My wife left our daycare with a $300 bill that we owed them.
Sir.
We had no one else. We have no
Sir,
relatives here.
So let me tell you this. There are many people, unfortunately, in your position whose mate, whether it be a husband or a wife, has a drug addiction problem. You're supposed to try to be supportive of each other if you can. But at that point, there is only one innocent. And that innocent is a child, especially a 2-year-old child that cannot protect herself. So at that point, you can't worry about her anymore. She's got a drug problem and hangs around with Mork or whatever his name is,
Morbid.
Dork. Those are the kind of people that you hang around with if you've got a drug problem.
That's all she hangs out with.
Drug dealers.
All drug dealers. That's
Fine.
everybody she knows.
Well, then, sir, if you allow your daughter to hang around with her and to hang around with drug dealers, then you are as guilty of neglect as she is. Do you understand me? In my eyes.
With all due respect, Judge, these are events that have only come to my knowledge within the last couple of months. All of these things have been hidden and lied about.
Sir, during that time, during that couple of month period, you still left your daughter in your wife's care.
But I was only doing that on the premise that she was over at her friend's house. I didn't know that there was drugs involved at that night.
You can't have it both ways. We understand each other. You cannot have it both ways.
There was not at any point that I felt my daughter was in danger from my wife.
I'm telling you that it's not true. What I'm telling you is, if you are mated to a drug user who cavorts with other drug users and abusers and dealers, you are a neglectful parent if you leave a 2-year-old child with her.
I was doing everything I could.
All right.
ma'am.
So, let me get to your cross complaint because I'm going to take care of this nonsense right away. You say that she spent a lot of your family money?
She spent all of our money.
Good. That's what happens. It's a very good idea for you to get out of this marriage, to take charge of your daughter, and to start building a life with her, if that's what you think that you can do. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's everything I'm seeking and aiming for. But
very good.
These are the events that handle our lives every day, though. While I'm trying to litigate this, I am being forced to move out of California, forced to give up my dreams, forced to give up my career.
That's very sad. You made a mistake. That's what happens when people make a mistake.
I made a grand mistake, and my pleas...
That's what happens when you make a mistake.
I understand that.
Good.
But understand, Judge, that I have pleaded and begged my wife to get drug counseling, to stop fraternizing with these people.
This case is dismissed. The counterclaim is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
I want to get as far away from this woman as I can. I believe she's nothing but pure evil and will not help herself. I don't think there's any saving her.
And now the next case.
Parties on Silvas versus Boga. Step forward.
70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger, a woman he says was his lover and bride-to-be. According to Frank, when their plans to move in together fell through, Christina kept his furniture. But Christina says she and Frank were never boyfriend and girlfriend, and the furniture was a gift.
Mr. Silvas, according to your papers, sir, you are a recent widower.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were married to your wife for 45 years?
No, 41.
41 years. Shortly after her death, you met the defendant.
Right, but 18 months after.
And she was selling some sort of electrical
Well, the
bed?
night before I met her, somebody called the house was looking to make an appointment to sell mattresses. And I told the gentleman, says, I'm not going to buy one. He said, well, we got a new sales person. He didn't tell me it was a male or a female, you know.
Cut to the chase.
Okay.
She came to sell you a new mattress.
Right.
And according to your complaint, sold you a lot more.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I slept over there about three or four different times. In fact, we went to Laughlin. First time we went to Laughlin.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger because he claims she kept his furniture when their romance ended.
Over the course of several months...
Almost a year.
You gave her a lot of money.
Right.
According to your papers, gave her loans of over $30,000.
Right.
But you know that you can't get that here.
Right.
What you're suing for here is a return of your furniture.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me how she came to have your furniture in her possession.
Okay, when her roommate moved out, I was supposed to, move in, see? So, I says, well, we'll take my furniture up there to sell my house. Then she kept putting the dates off,
What dates?
That I was supposed to move in.
But prior to that, Your Honor, she said she would marry me.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Yes, and she kept putting that off.
Okay. So you asked her to marry you. When did you ask her to marry you?
Before the first of the year, first time.
And what did she say?
She says, I don't know you that good, let's wait a while.
So what happened? The romance is clearly over.
Well, I got evidence right here that really turned me off. She came into my house, took 2 blank checks and forged them. One for $1,000, one for $350. Then she came back into the house and grabbed those 2 checks and burned them up. That's what she told me. She burned them. But I got copies from the bank. And I got the police report on each one of them.
When do you say she did this?
I didn't find out about it till May, actually, Your Honor. And I got my bank statements.
How come he gave you this money?
Well,
I assume you're going to tell me he gave you the money.
Yes, he plays a victim well. He was always there to be very helpful to me, and was there to volunteer anytime I needed something. We started up a business together. This money that he's talking about that he lent to me was based on this business we started together, and any money that he gave me was to help me get this business up and going, and he was, in return, got a percentage of this business.
Just a second. Did he get anything in return?
Yes, when he was doing his job.
Just a minute. What did he get in return?
He got a percentage of the business, which was 10%.
How much does that translate to in cash?
About $600-700 in cash.
So he invested thousands and he got $600-700.
Let me explain something though. He stopped doing the business, and ultimately the business fell. It's not even in existence now because he wouldn't give me the information so I can continue to run this business. He kept it.
He gave you a lot of money, madam. I have checks here. A lot of money.
Okay.
A lot.
Your Honor, he's 69 years old. I'm 30. This man's got 45 years on me. He decides to give me money or do what he decides to do. You think he'd have... It's all been his choice. It's all been his choice from the beginning to do these things. Frank did everything.
Did you at any time discuss with him getting married?
No, he discussed it with me.
When for the first time?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you. It was literally the first time, 60 days after I knew him, was the first time he asked me to marry him.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. And he was a heavy drinker, and I have a baby, and there's a big age difference. And I told him, I said, no, I think
a big age difference is 40 years. A big age difference is 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. 40 years is a big age difference. Did you ever say to him, no, sir, you're too old and I'm not going to be involved with you romantically?
I never said he was too old. The age difference was a concern, but it was his drinking that was more of a concern to me.
But that didn't stop you from taking money from him.
For the business, we were business partners.
I'm not talking about the business. So far, the business he got a couple $100 from, if I believe you, and he put in thousands according to these checks. And it's not made out to a business. It's made out directly to you, and you cash the checks. It's not made out to a business account. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. But I'm telling you now, don't piddle on my leg and tell me it's raining, madam. I'm too smart for you. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you took money from him because he was prepared to give it to you and you were prepared to take it, that's one thing. He's not suing you for the money. Yet. So don't give me any baloney about business. Business checks, if they're made to a business, they're put in a business name. Your business, I assume, had a name. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the business?
Well, we were Banks and Associates.
So if he was lending money to the business, it would have been business checks, not payable to you.
Okay, when I came to him and discussed certain things with him, he was there to help me. He said, whatever you need, I'm here to help you. I asked him what he wanted in return. He said, just to be close to you, to be your friend. And I said that was fine. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you used them. Now, let's talk about the furniture.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I want to know if the following things are in your home, madam. Butcher block.
Pardon me?
Show this to her, please. Are those things in your home?
Yes, they are.
Can I have it, please? Court will draft an order that within 3 days of today, all those items will be picked up and returned to Mr. Silvas. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And they better be in the same condition that they were.
Это рисование коленного сустава. По сути своей, прийти к коленному суставу лучше всего через рисование всей ноги целиком, поэтому попробуем. Итак, у нас есть силуэт, который обычно вырисовывается в виде вот такой простой формы, которую мы называем нога, свободная нижняя конечность. Вот так. Ну или не свободная нижняя конечность. Внутри этой системы, внутри этой ноги, мы сейчас нарисуем ее еще один раз здесь, с этой стороны. У нас есть следующий механизм. Итак, бедренная кость, которая находится от вертлужной впадины и выходит в эту часть, имеет так называемую диагональную направленность в сторону большого пальца. Это основная нагрузка. Это единственная прямая линия, которая должна быть в ноге. Бедренная кость передает свою нагрузку с вот таким смещением на большеберцовую кость. И территория большеберцовой кости идет вот здесь, с этой стороны. Она как раз и формирует внутреннюю лодыжку, поэтому вот эта прямая линия, которая идет по краю бедренной кости, переходит потом на большеберцовую кость, а большеберцовая кость своим сводом передает эту нагрузку на большой палец. Отсюда и мотивация как бы у балерин все время держать большой палец в выпрямленном состоянии. Вот здесь. Как только мы это увидели, то получается, что есть при таком косом ходе вот такое противодействие формы. Оказывается, что все мышцы, которые заставляют нашу ногу удерживаться, это приводящие мышцы, имеют целую систему мышц, которые приводят ногу, то есть не позволяют ей отойти в сторону. Но все мышцы, которые находятся на голени, в отличие от бедра, находятся на наружной поверхности, вот здесь, которые, собственно говоря, управляют этой поверхностью. Поэтому у нас получился вот такой диагональный ход дублирующих линий с этой стороны. Колено же, которое зажалось в этой части, ей досталась интересная функция. Оно как будто бы выглядит в виде цилиндра, сдвинутого вот так в сторону. Поэтому получилось, что когда мы рисуем это бедро, то мы видим форму вот такого спускающегося цилиндра, который переходит в такой же цилиндр, но который идет с неким смещением. Поэтому весь коленный сустав всегда выглядит вот так направленно. В этом виновата на самом деле малоберцовая кость, которая отодвинулась вот так в сторону и создала вот это дополнительное пространство. Но коленная чашечка, которая существует у нас на передней поверхности, ее задача защищать два края бедренной кости, и поэтому она очень плотно привязана к этому пространству. Но для того, чтобы ее удержаться, нужна связка, которая ее будет держать. И поэтому она спускается этой собственной связкой и прикрепляется на переднюю поверхность большеберцовой кости. В результате возникает два треугольника. И поэтому на начальном этапе, для того, чтобы понять, как строится коленная чашечка, лучше всего научиться видеть следующее. Мы ставим хорошо визуально видимый край коленной чашечки, рисуем треугольник. И под этот треугольник рисуем еще один треугольник. Раз треугольник и два треугольника. Это и будет наш коленный сустав, относительно которого вся внутренняя поверхность будет удаляться туда, вся наружная поверхность будет удаляться сюда. А это будет абсолютный фронт. Из-за того, что коленная чашечка, если рассматривать в профиль ногу, то коленная чашечка по отношению к этой же вертикали будет находиться в так называемом минусе. То есть она развернута вот так, за счет чего выглядит зачастую темной. Если мы будем рассматривать голень, по отношению к этому краю, голень как будто возвращается сюда. Но верхний край голени все еще сохраняет такой же наклон. Поэтому если провести некую вертикальную линию, идущую вдоль края большеберцовой кости, то огромная масса мышц бедра всегда будет вынесена за эту линию. И поэтому коленная чашечка должна оказаться не на прямой линии, а она должна как бы быть отдельным объемом вынесена за эту форму. Итак, мы построили два вот этих треугольника, но на самом деле никто никогда так коленную чашечку не видит, потому что все видят примерно следующую часть. Все видят край силуэта, здесь и здесь, и потом видят некое тональное пятно в виде коленной чашечки, потом еще 2 тональных пятна здесь и здесь, и потом видят тональное пятно, которое спускается сюда вниз. Что это такое? Под коленной чашечкой прячется подколенный жир. И в тот момент, когда вы выпрямляете ногу целиком, подколенный жир выскакивает с двух сторон, с одной и с другой стороны. И он становится столь заметный, что коленная чашечка скорее воспринимается таким квадратиком, у которого есть некое непонятное пятно вниз. Но если внимательно присмотреться, это непонятное пятно вниз, это и есть собственная связка надколенника или передняя поверхность большеберцовой кости. Поэтому как бы жировые комочки нас не выскочив, не отвлекали, но мы должны все равно почувствовать вот эту массу треугольника, массу этого треугольника, что позволит нам сразу кольцевать эту поверхность через эти края, и коленный сустав сразу становится объемный за счет этого. Такая неподвижность или такая стабильность коленного сустава будет происходить все время, когда нога выпрямлена, что позволит нам увидеть следующие очень важные вещи. Когда начинается бедро, в этой части, где выходит портняжный мускул, мускул, напрягающий широкую фасцию, вот здесь возникнет такой маленький треугольник, где прямая мышца выпрыгивает из общего объема. Так вот, это направление будет соответствовать направлению коленного сустава. Когда мы спустимся вниз, то направление подъема стопы также будет соответствовать параллельности этого объема. Также он будет параллелен и в большом пальце. Поэтому, когда вы начинаете рисовать ногу, то обычно вы делаете так, если она находится не в фасовом режиме, а как-то развернута на вас, то вы увидите следующее. Вы увидите поверхность переднюю бедра с боковой поверхностью, здесь идущей. Потом увидите коленный сустав, потом увидите форму голени, и потом появится такая же форма стопы, которая выходит здесь. И получается, что вот эти параллельные структуры стопы, вот эти параллельные передние плоскости голени, которые будут идти здесь, всегда будут параллельны друг другу, когда стопа выпрямлена. И будет такой же перпендикуляр по отношению к этому объему, который будет работать относительно этого края вот сюда внутрь. Это сразу будет давать ощущение максимальной глубины, то есть максимального пространства, которое можно добиться. Конечно, разбив на 2 счета нечестный, потому что это полная сфера, и она имеет многообразие всех плоскостей. Но представить себе структуру в начале в виде вот такой формы гораздо проще, гораздо легче, что позволяет вам с легкостью анализировать направление масс, и тогда вы можете врисовывать ногу в согнутом состоянии с внутренней части, точно так же понимая, как работает закон поворота бедра, что очень удобно, потому что вот эта поверхность, сохраняя свою параллельность, будет выглядеть очень убедительно. В реальной жизни в согнутой ноге на самом деле нарушается закон этой параллельности, потому что как только колено сгибается, связки расслабляются, и колено уже может вращаться. То есть может появляться вот этот люфт большеберцовой кости относительно бедренной части. Это будет происходить вот в этой части, вот здесь территории. И поэтому если человек повернет, например, носок в одну сторону или в другую, будет меняться угол наклона поверхности голени, что заставит стопу менять направление. Но обычно такие события очень хорошо видны, и вы начинаете с легкостью видеть эти поверхности. Ну вот секрет рисования коленного сустава.